Thank you.
Isn't it weird after doing a podcast for almost a year? Like, I get a little bit nervous at the beginning of every one. It's
Nah, man, you shouldn't be nervous.
no.
Nah, just like getting nervous. Just like having sex.
Oh man, we are down a Foster. He's somewhere in Green Bay. Yeah, we'll talk about that. And yeah, he's trying to get stuff figured out, and he'll be on shortly here. And we have Walter Besky coming in a little bit. PJ, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Don't have a hat on tonight, so man, that's different.
I forgot my Bears hat, and all I have is a visor, so I went and got this one. It's just a plain blue hat,
like
so
that.
at least I'm not wearing a visor.
It looks gray though.
It's kind of blue.
Yeah, it kind of looks
Blue
gray.
gray.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Mm. Right.
Well, it definitely needs a C on it, but I have that.
Hey.
So we are all good.
I got a
PJ.
Reebok on.
Hmm?
I got a Reebok on. Reebok.
Yeah, nice. At least it's blue.
Hey.
You're not wearing a Texans hat.
I thought about putting it on too. I really did.
Thank God you didn't.
It's actually the Texas Rangers hat, so it's a Rangers hat.
Oh, see, I would know the difference.
One's okay. One's royal blue and red. The other one's
I'm just kidding.
Dark blue.
I just mean because I'm a Cubs fan. That's all.
I told you I'm not really a baseball fan at all.
I know, me either, but Cubs over anyone.
The Bears.
All right, so guys, we've got a few exciting things to talk about besides the topic tonight. Some things that's pretty exciting here for BCP, and we'll talk about all that as we get into the show here, and when we get Foster on and our guest Walter and Kitty. Let's kick this shit off.
Bears country. Where is it?
You down with BCP?
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 So wait, her Celis. Wait, my thing is, there we go. For Celis, I need to be like,
Yeah. That ain't it, man. That ain't it.
no. So I keep following the wrong advice. Is that what you're saying?
No, usually it's something like this, hand behind the head and do something like that. Something like that. You're bending your elbow, bro. You're not supposed to bend your elbow. Let's just stop while we're ahead. Let's just stop.
Yeah. One of these days, it's going to be an amazing dance. It will be. Trust me. One of these days, I'm going to do the leg flip like Kid and Play. Then I'll have the whole... I'll go watch some modern dancers. How about that? Because I keep dancing like I'm from the 90s. Is that the problem?
How about you stay in your own lane and we will be just fine. When you get out, when you start drifting over to that other lane of like being a dancer, being a rapper, that's not your lane, bro. You got to stay in your lane, whatever your lane. You got to stay in what you're good at, man. Just pontificating. That's your lane.
Fair enough.
Dancing, not so much.
No, not so much.
Not so much.
I used to think I used to tear it up on the wedding room dance floor.
Okay, quick question for you. When you met your wife, were you on the dance floor or were you at the bar?
I was at the Green Mile.
So you were at the bar.
I was at Al Capone's jazz. It's now a jazz club, but it was originally Al Capone's bar.
So you were at a bar. You wasn't on the dance floor. Right?
It was a jazz. It was a jazz club.
But you was at the bar. You wasn't on the dance floor.
Did I tell you this story?
Yes, you did.
Calling me out now?
So what I'm saying is, you were at the bar.
I was at the.
So you was at the bar. You wasn't on the dance floor. So that tells you your lane is not on the dance floor. You were at the bar. So stay in your lane. That's what I'm telling you, bro. It works for you, man. I'm just saying. You was able to get this lovely wife of yours because you were in your lane. Had she seen you on the dance floor, you'd probably be single today.
When I put my mind to something, though, I want to perfect it. Oh man,
I'm just saying, man.
Can you imagine, like, one of these days, it's like I'm actually doing a really cool dance. Like, shit, you actually got this shit right. What the fuck is happening? Like, well, I guess it's time to trash that and come up with a new opener. Mission accomplished.
I'm just saying, you gotta stay in your lane, man. That's it. I mean,
stay in my lane.
It works for you, man. I'm telling you, what you got going for you work for you.
I got you. Man. I got you, my friend. I got you.
All this new stuff, nah, It doesn't work.
Friends don't let your friends, or friends don't let your friends dance. I'm not drunk, but podcasting. Friends don't let their friends dance podcasting. How about that? Guys, what is up with everyone in chat tonight? Thank you guys for joining us. Mark Kazak, excellent to see you in chat again. Of course, Cliff Victoria, Walt Besky's in chat. Walt Besky's hanging out in the back here, waiting to come on soon. Cliff, I have some pictures of my dinner for you tonight later.
Hey, Cliff. What's up, Mark?
I'm getting tired of showing all your pictures of all your meals, Cliff. I'm showing a picture of my meal. It's literally the one I made tonight, damn it.
Doug Van Dorn.
Mr. Mayhem, what's up? Mr. Mayhem is down with BCP.
You know me.
Doug Van Dorn. Doug. I love you, Doug. I love you, Doug. It's always good to see you in chat every week. Excellent stuff you guys provide in content in chat, which makes this show what it is. So Thank you very much. I kind of have some exciting news for BCP here. As of like a week ago, BCP is now partially monetized. So if you look down on your STC, what's up? If you look down, you will now see that there is Super Chat available for you. There's a membership page that we're going to start, maybe with some excellent recipes. I could put that Lumo90s recipe in there for you guys.
Okay.
Super stickers, all kinds of stuff. You guys can just, if you would like to just donate, there is a donation button down there. Just letting you know, not asking, just letting everyone know it is now available. We have to make sure Retro knows that when he pops in later, because he was always doing $1 on the bar room.
Yes, if you guys want to donate money, I'm willing to accept it. I mean, I feel free. I mean, I can like use that money and buy something. I don't know what yet, but
you can add it to your retirement fund.
There you would go.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, this guy's costing me a lot of money.
Yeah.
Let's not even talk about Foster.
Yeah, I'm not cheap. So, yeah.
Some more exciting news that I kind of want to talk about before we get going on the topic for tonight, because I am actually very excited to talk about the defensive line tonight and what this new rookie class is going to offer. But, and let's see. The second thing that I wanted to bring up tonight was that on the 27th, we're going to have our first special big guest. Alex Shapiro will be joining us on the 27th in 2 weeks. That will be the day after training camp officially starts. So the goal for this, when Alex Shapiro was on the show, is, again, let me put in the banners here so that you guys all know, to join a future show, email BearsCountryPodcast@gmail.com for any of you in audio stream that's listening to this. And if you would like to join the show that night on the 27th, we will have you in the background, and each one of you can ask, depending how many people join up, 1 to 2 questions to Alex Shapiro yourself, to hear what he has to say to your question to your face.
Yes. Try not to duplicate your questions either. I mean, so make sure you pay attention to where you're not duplicating your questions.
Yeah, exactly.
We want to maximize the chance we have with him to get as many answers as possible, because I know he does a real good job of taking notes. I mean, he's a professional at this, so he takes good notes with training camp, and I know there's some questions I want to ask him right up the top.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try to keep it to, like, I don't know how long he's gonna be on for yet, but I'll try to keep it to just a couple of questions myself. They probably will not even be Bears related, so because I'll leave that up to you guys. But that should be a fun show.
Well, I can keep him on long if you really want me to.
Oh, I know you can. You got just one question with a 27-part answer to it, right?
Gotta be, hey, I stay in my lane.
There is another exciting thing I'm trying to pull up here. As soon as I can find it.
That's what she said.
You. Where did I put this? That's what she said. Oh wait, duh! I forgot that it's over here. It's right here. Hold on now. This is kind of exciting for BCP, because there's a company that has reached out to me. They actually reached out to me last year, right after the first game of the season against the Niners, and they were called, at the time, they were called Relevant, RELVENT, and it's backed by Mike Tyson. And they reached out to, at the time, they wanted me to pair me up in kind of like a Manning cast with a former player for the Bears, and or journalist, I should say. And then it just kind of it never really came into fruition, because they started the process too late and the season was already started. So they kind of put it aside, and now they've reached out to me again. And PSF, they have changed their name from Relevant to PSF, which is Pro Sports Fans. And it's an app where anyone can go on to the app, download it on your if you go on your Android app, you have to download Relevant currently, RELEVNT. If you're on your iPhone, you can just go to PSF, Pro Sports Fans, and you can find it in the apps section on your iPhone. What's going to happen here is, during the season for the Bears games, it's currently for every team. Currently, you have hockey, basketball, baseball, NFL. So the baseball is going on right now. So you can pick your favorite baseball team, go to Pro Sports Fans, download it, go to the chat room where they have set up for your favorite teams, and you can chat live with current or former players who are on there doing their own things. It's kind of like an interactive version of Twitter, if you will. It's very, very interesting. So they're not sponsoring us. We're in negotiations with me to do a show on that with them, or to broadcast every game live, every Bears game, with a former player. So I don't know who that player is going to be yet. It could actually be a former, like a current journalist or something like that. But what's exciting about this is I'll be doing like a Manning stream from PSF on the Bears fan channel during the game with most likely a former player. And even if it's not, which I pretty much think it is, just based on what we talked about, even if it's a current journalist, that's gonna lead to a lot of great things for this channel. And with this channel being fan-based and having you come in from chat to join the show, I can't say it enough, email BearsCountryPodcast@gmail.com to join the show. And you could be sitting on here with potentially a former player or a current journalist, just like you will be on the 27th with Alex Shapiro, to ask that said person your own questions in real time and have them answer them to you face to face in real time. And that's what this whole channel has always been about. And it's amazing to see that kind of come to fruition. So with the addition of PSF, I'm very excited to announce that, this is going to be a great partnership between the two of us. And I hope all of you guys sign up. I even created a Bears Country Podcast chat room on that app. So you can join that too. We can also do or send our stream to PSF as well, just like we can Twitter and Facebook. So it's an exciting time. More to come on that in the future as we start to build. Once I get more information, we just kind of went through the setup today, talking with them.
See, that's why you're the man.
What's that?
That's why you're the man. You know what I mean? You're just the man.
Thanks,
you're
man.
Just the man.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. That's very nice of you. I don't think I am, but I mean,
I'm a nice guy.
You are a very nice guy. You're the man too, dude. You being here that proves you're the man. So I'm excited about this, guys. Check out PSF, Pro Sports Fans, on your iPhone, Relevant, RELEVNT, on your Android. Download the Relevant app, and then it will eventually, they're working on that for the Android. It will eventually be updated to the new format that you see here on your screen, which is PSF. So very excited about that.
Cliff giving you some advice, sir.
Make sure you have the rights to replay on BCP. No, I won't be replaying on BCP. I'll have interaction with current players or former players, maybe even current players through whoever former player I'm doing the game cast with. So it's basically just like you see now, only it's a mobile based platform. So you can only do it on your phone. So I'll literally be watching the Bears game on my phone with said former player or journalist, and then we'll be talking about the game in real time. They'll have the all the stats, everything will be broadcast by them in real time. So I won't even have to run pull up an ESPN chart to show you what the down by, what's going on in the game. It'll all be provided by them while we just hang out like you and I are right now, PJ, talking about the game, hanging out like fans watching it. But there will be like a former player there that will be able to add his insight to what he's actually seeing. It'll make it that much more interesting.
But it won't be as interesting as I am.
Definitely not.
I am the most interesting man. No.
But you can. But here's the cool thing about that. Anyone that is on that's using that platform, that while they're in there in chat, their video feed is also available, and they can come into the show and hang out with us, just like this.
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean, right now you can't just come in the show and hang out with us. I could make that available to you right now if you just wanted to. I could put the link in the description and you could just hop in the show if you wanted to. I've thought about doing that. I actually might do that. I'm not sure how many of you would actually take advantage of that. But on this other platform, anyone can do that because, I'm not sitting here with, sorry, PJ, but you're not, Charles Tillman.
I'm not?
No. You are. No, he's actually better looking than you two. Sorry.
What?
He's got better hair.
What?
Yeah. He's also an FBI agent. You're just a cop. You're just a cop.
What?
Can you say you were an NFL player and an FBI agent, PJ?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I can.
I
can say
it before. You should tell me that before.
I can say it.
But anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know that this is an exciting time for BCP, And we want to thank all of you for being a part of it, because I think there's a lot we can do with this moving forward with kind of what's going to happen with this delightful marriage with PSF, because I am allowed to talk about my own channel and things like that. And if I'm hanging out with whoever it is, that'll be like an open door to maybe adding players to the show, former players and things like that. It should be very, very exciting moving forward, and I'm very excited.
I want to say real quick, let me say hi to Squeegee. What's up, Squeegee?
Squeegee!
Okay, that's the only shout out I got for you, Squeegee. That's it.
STC, I've been ignoring you guys in chat while I was on a rant telling you guys about that. So let's see. What did you guys have to say here? Because let's see. Doug Van Dorden says, my theory is that Shorty is actually Adam Hogue. I mean, they went on vacation at the same time, and have any of you ever seen them in the same place at the same time?
Well,
That means we have to start the GoFundMe to get Adam Hogue on here, because he's got to be like $5,000 an hour, right?
man.
Yeah.
Hey, for those prices, I can impersonate to be Adam Hogue myself. I can say I got a suntan. Hey.
No kidding. So anyway, all that being said, that's kind of a long rant on all that. It's a very exciting time, and I wanted to get that out of the way. Guys, I'm actually very excited to be talking about the defensive line, because I love when the Bears, when they do the series Meet the Rookies, and you really get to dive in and see what is going on with each rookie, that they, their family life, things like that. And it really, you gain the appreciation for them, from where they came from their family life, you gain a different perspective. And I love when they do that. And one of the most recent one this season is Gervon Dexter. I was hoping that they did the next one, which I would imagine would be Zacch Pickens today. So we could at least talk about that as well. But what they talked about with Gervon Dexter was very, Chicago Bear through and through. They look for a certain player that they want to, represent that. And they're all high character guys. And you see now, Gervon Dexter is actually a Gervon Dexter Sr. This is courtesy of Walt Beskey for creating this for BCP. Thank you, Walt. He'll be on in a second. But
that's nice. Walt. Appreciate you, Walt. Thank you.
55 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 2 sacks last year. 6'6", 310 pounds, 53rd pick. I mean, when you watch the production that the Bears put on for Meet the Rookies, and you see that he actually thought he was going to be a basketball player, because he's 6'6". He's a big dude. And he moves well for his size. He literally thought he was going to be a basketball player until his coach convinced him to play football. And now here he sits as a 53rd pick in the draft, and somebody who all of us, a huge nation of Bears fans, are looking. They're high on him. I know I am.
Yeah, I think he's going to be raw, but let me comment first on what you were saying as far as Meet the Rookies. See, that's why I have such a fondness for our own drafted players, because they give this little introductory thing to them. So you start developing this real kinship with this person, and only to see them go away after the end of their 4 years, if they make it to 4 years, because we're signing someone else's cast off. That's why I say I would prefer to keep our own, because we have this vested interest in them by watching these little clips, getting to know them, their families, their struggles, their success, watching them grow. That's why I'm a big fan of own drafted players. But specifically for Gervon Dexter, I know when we was going through our draft process, Nomad first brought him to my attention. And I tell you, I thought he was going to be more of a three technique, but now I think he's more of a one technique, and he's big, strong. I wonder how is his leverage, how he's going to play with leverage, being 6'6", because normally your one techniques are about what 6'2", maybe that they around that range. So for him to be 6'6", I wonder what type of leverage he's going to play with. But he's very strong. Uh, I think he has some good speed. Ran in the 4.8s, I believe, in the 40-yard dash. So he's very intriguing. And from that standpoint, I don't expect big sack production from him his first year. I think to get maybe 3 or 4 sacks would be a bonus. Other than that, I think so. I think we'll rely on an inside pressure from some of the other guys for him, just getting his feet wet to where he have to play now a one gap system as opposed to the two gap system that he was playing. So we're gonna have some growing pains with him, but the upside is there. I can see the upside there with him.
I think obviously there's growing pains with any rookie.
Mhm.
Sometimes they flash right out of the gates, but I think you're onto something there with his size. So then they go and get Zacch Pickens.
Yes.
The two of them together could just be a nasty combination for years to come, and that's the exciting thing.
Did you see that? It was something on YouTube where they were like talking to them, and they said how they would meet each other, run across each other in the airport while going to visit different, to work out for different NFL teams, and they developed a friendship that way. Now to have them both drafted by the Bears after building this friendship among themselves is pretty interesting. I think now Zacch, I think you would get more sack production out of him because he's quicker. I don't know how much time he'll get with Jones in front of him. So, but I find him to be intriguing. I think he's nice. I thought he was going to be, I think I've seen somewhere where they said he was projected to be maybe a 4th or a 5th rounder. So to get him in the 3rd, kind of surprised me a bit. But then I heard him talking so positively about him at, I think, the Senior Bowl. So I didn't know where his stance really was, but I'm pleased with it. I mean, 3rd rounder, I'm okay with it.
I love it. Let's not forget about the addition of Andrew Billings and
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
And I mean, I think that we're in better shape than people are giving us credit for. Everyone's complaining about the defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that big defensive end? I mean, it could be that they see something in Travis Gibson.
I think Travis Gibson has some potential there. Like I've always said, though, I think he's more of a Robin to somebody else's Batman. So we need a Batman to bring out his Robin, per se.
I agree. Let's find out what Walt thinks, because he's sitting in the background, and Foster is just hanging out in Green Bay with all the Packer fans. So let's bring Walter on. Wait, I got to get ready for Walter, though. Hold on. Oh, hold on. I got it. I'm going to perfect this dance one way or another.
Uh-oh.
One way or another.
Stop the press. You even got Walter dancing now. Oh, my goodness. No. You just changing up all types of dances there, Shorty. I mean, what are you doing? Churning butter? I mean, what we got going on here, man? Put me out there.
What is up, Walter?
What's going on, guys? How are we doing tonight?
We are doing excellent tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
How are you feeling about this defensive line?
I feel great. I think we got some good rookies coming in. We got Dexter and Pickens, and Justin Jones is back, and he definitely punched above his weight class a little bit last year, but I think he's turning the corner. I think he can give us that on a yearly basis. So I mean, defensive end's still a work in progress, of course, but we got a couple of good guys. We'll just see how they pan out throughout the year, though.
Let's not forget about Brian Robinson. Or no, I fucked that all up.
Dominique Robinson.
Thank you, Dominique Robinson.
I'm
Where
here.
did Brian Robinson come from? Was that? Who am I
1990s?
thinking of?
Is
I
that
don't know.
1990s? Brian Robinson.
I don't know. I do not know where that came from. I apologize. Dominique Robinson.
No, I think Dominique's going to be just fine. Like they said in the draft, he had only switched over to the position a season and a half, 2 seasons ago. So he's coming in. He's behind the 8 ball to begin with, and we saw in the first game he got the sack or a sack and a half, depending on who you talk to.
Mhm.
And after Robert Quinn was traded, everything kind of fell apart. And
after
that wasn't
the first
his
game.
fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, after that first game, he disappeared.
Well, I mean, they kicked him inside a lot to play defensive tackle too, if you noticed.
Yeah.
And the line last year, outside of maybe Jones and sometimes Angelo Blackston, I think was his name, there was nothing there. The team was just bad in general last year.
Yeah, I think with Dominique, the thing we have to keep in mind is he went to college as a quarterback, got switched to
Right.
a wide receiver, and only played 2 years as defensive end. And
Yeah.
then we drafted him in the 5th round. I mean, honestly, that sounds like more of a Ryan Pace pick than it does a Ryan Poles pick. I mean, because that to me was just like, okay, whoa. But I mean, it's a good gamble. I mean, the potential's there. I mean, of course, he's flashed in the first game, but
I mean, it's a 5th round pick. I mean,
Yeah.
depending on what you get out of it, it's okay.
he got some good measurables. I was 6'5", 270 something, I think. So,
Roundabout. I mean, he had good numbers coming out of college too that final year. So
Did he?
the
Okay.
potential's there.
yeah, I agree.
It's just he went to a smaller school.
Yeah.
He's not going to get the face the stiffer competition, say like an LSU, Clemson,
Right.
Ohio State, all the big ones.
Mhm.
Right.
And it's going to take a minute to learn the NFL game from there. So
Exactly.
the
Well, I
fact
think-
that he did what he did in the first game I was impressed by that. I mean, anything else, he had to learn the rest of that season because nobody's going to let him do that again.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, you have to have someone else to draw the attention of the offensive line, and we didn't have anyone to do that. So with Travis Gibson, I know he got a lot of attention, but it doesn't. I mean, Robinson, young, and don't know how to do a counter move to his one move, and has to learn that. So it's a learning process for him. I'm just curious to see. Oh man,
What is going on over here?
It's just messing me up. What is going on with? He actually drives.
I told you
He actually drives. Wow.
he's in Europe right now, sitting in the passenger seat. I hope.
He just threw up my whole train of thought.
He's muted though, of course, as usual.
I'm not now. I should have just left me. It was an interesting conversation. So shut me back up and go on with the conversation. Because I am driving. That's why I didn't want to do this. I was listening to you guys.
Oh, how far away are you from being in your destination?
I don't really have a whole destination, man. I was looking at cars too. I do. I'm close. I'm like 10 minutes, man. Maybe 12, 15. But I interrupted this whole thing, which is exactly what I didn't want to do. And now I'm going to get pulled over because I'm not paying attention to speed.
Driving on a suspended license?
No. Walter, tell it like it is. These guys need to learn some shit. So does everybody else.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
So now I'm just going to listen. You can get rid of me or leave me on, whatever you guys want to do. But I need 10 or 15 anyways. So
Okay.
go back to it, man. That was good,
All right.
good
Well,
stuff.
we'll take you back out then. Jeez.
Whatever you want to do, man.
Well, I just think like this, to finish my thought. I think with Robinson. I mean, if we get the inside pressure like we want, we get that inside pressure, and our ends just are there for contain and getting one who's trying to. The quarterback trying to escape out. I think we'll be fine. So, yeah, Robinson. I expect 5 sacks, 6 sacks out of him this year. Nothing major, but with his speed, I think getting up the field and be able to get that sack after inside pressure is where his wheelhouse will be.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, a lot of times, even though he wasn't getting the sack or the pressure or whatever, he was in most of the plays though. So he was fighting to get in there, which is good to see.
I love the energy and the hustle. He really hustles. So yeah, I truly like that about him. Yes.
Yeah, Jack Sanborn's that same type of player. You saw that in preseason too.
Yes. I agree.
I'm kind of heartbroken at the thought of the rookie that they drafted that might be taking over his position. Noah Sewell.
Sewell, yeah.
Yeah, Sewell. I thought you said who.
No, I said Sewell.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm wondering how serious is Sanborn's injury. That's what's got me speculating now because drafting Sewell and he was a what? Didn't participate at all in OTAs, right?
No, he didn't.
So I'm wondering how serious Sanborn's injury is.
That's a good question. We don't really know. No one's really talking, so it's kind of
talking about it.
I mean, any injury though, I feel like it's all tight-lipped this time of year.
Well, they talked a little bit about Claypool, a little bit about Mooney, but you haven't heard nothing about Sanborn.
No, I mean, all we know is he never left Alice Hall. Supposedly, him and Eddie Jackson, Darnell Mooney, have been there every day.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Eberflus has been tight-lipped about his injuries from day one, though. When he doesn't have to, he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
No, you can even see Eberflus on the field. He's a very quiet, reserved guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wanted to go with I wanted to address what Doug here said. And again, guys, the Eberflus Williams version of the Tampa 2 redefines a lot of the D-line roles. Dexter may well be exactly the type of player they want at a 3-tech. As opposed to you saying maybe you think he's going to play the nose.
Yeah, I don't see it. I mean, we can agree to disagree, Doug and I, but because I mean, it's possible though. Yes, it is possible because I had hoped he would be more like a Chris Jones for Kansas City, but he's a 3 technique. But from what I'm hearing, I think they have him playing the 1 technique.
They'll probably swap around.
Yeah, well, I think who was it? I heard say it. Could have been Lance Briggs, depending on which side is the strong side. After they get lined up, if they have the strong side to the right or left, it'll depend on which one of them would actually play the 3 technique on any given play. So you have the versatility there.
They could be interchangeable.
Very much so. Very much so. I agree. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think the coaches just need to let him run. I mean, down in Florida, he was doing more of a read and react, like we all know. So people are like, "Oh, he's slow. He's not going to get off the line quick enough." But I think he just has to be unleashed and let him do his thing. He's got power in his legs. I mean, his bench wasn't that great at the combine or pro day. I'm not sure which one they're measuring. I think he was like upper 60% roughly for his position.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you talking about? Pickens?
Gervon Dexter.
Dexter. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Retro.
Yep.
Retro just found this. Congratulations, BCP. Thank you, my man. You missed the beginning of the show when I announced it, and I was like, "Where's Retro?" He usually donates $1.
He said, "Take that. I give you 2."
We appreciate that. Thank you very much, Retro. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Retro.
What I was gonna say about you were just saying, Walter. I had something I was gonna say, and that threw me off. I was like, "Oh, Retro."
Gervon.
Yeah, Gervon. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. What I loved about this draft is what they did in 2015 5 or 6 when they drafted Tommy Harris and Tank Johnson in the same draft. And it ended up being a really good investment because if one of them didn't work out, the other one would have, and then it turned out that they both did. So this could be something where both of these guys are going to have a huge role in this team, just like those two guys did on that team. It's very exciting.
Yeah. No, I think they went out and did a good thing doubling up on defensive tackle. I mean, a little tidbit, my last mock draft actually was Donald Wright, first round, Gervon Dexter, our second pick, and Zacch Pickens. So when I saw those picks come through, I was happy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Pickens gets a lot of the credit he really deserves.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be very interesting. I just wonder whether or not one of any of them on this line is that true alpha dog. I mean, even with Walker, I know we haven't got to him yet, but even with Walker, I just wonder, do we have that one dominant piece to where offenses would concentrate on him, which would allow the others to flourish? That's what I was hoping for in free agency by signing a nice defensive end or something like that. Someone that can draw the attention of the offensive coordinator to where he's trying to game plan against that guy, then the other guys can flourish off of that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%, PJ. Right now, I feel like on paper, we have no alpha male,
Right.
like you said. Now, can somebody turn into that? Of course.
Yeah,
It
I
really
agree.
depends. But just looking at the numbers and how things are going, we don't know.
Yeah, no one's drilled it so far in their career.
Yeah.
So,
I tend to have the problem too, where I start getting too homerish, going, "Yeah, we have the pieces, we've got this," I'm thinking about the Ryan Pace era, but it's like, oh, okay, well maybe they know something that we don't. I'm gonna acknowledge that that they know more than I do about the situation. So yeah, they've got it. And then it was just like, oh shit, this team is terrible, and they're fighting for their lives by week 6, and it's like, I don't want to get too homerish thinking the same way about this.
I can honestly say I've never said that about the Ryan Pace era that they probably know something that I don't. I never said that. I've said that about some other eras, but not with that one era. I was like,
Not in the beginning though. You didn't in the beginning?
no.
Get out of here, dude. When he was executive of the year, you didn't think, well, shit, this guy's got some shit going on.
Because, like I said before, the whole thing with that season, trick plays. And I know you cannot sustain success with trick plays. And then when I found out that he actually, Matt Nagy, that is, didn't practice the plays, he'll just like have him do a walkthrough of the play, not ever like really practice it and rep it to where you work out the kinks. He didn't do any of that. I was like, oh no, that's just a recipe for disaster. And true enough, that's what happened. So,
But I'm not talking about Nagy.
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
I'm talking about Pace.
well, that's
At
what
the
I'm saying. I
time,
mean,
when he went out and got Khalil Mack, you were like, well, shit, he better have this quarterback position right. And that's when a lot of us fans either hated it or they were like, okay, I can get behind this kid and I can support him. And I can see something to him with the right, and then Nagy, of course, fuck, I just said his name again.
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
He screwed that thing up, but for that brief moment in Pace's career, when he was executive of the year or GM of the year, it seemed like, okay, I can trust this guy next year, kind of a thing. You didn't get that feeling from that year? No?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm a fan of Mac. I like Mac. And I was like, okay, we got Mac, but we gave up what to get him. Okay. Then, if you remember, Roquan set out all training camp or something like that to where he was late coming in, to where he wasn't really effective in that first Green Bay game. So I wasn't a big fan of Pace. I mean, I thought he was doing okay, but I wasn't like, ooh. No, because I'm like, okay, how does these pieces work? Because our speed wide receiver was what, 5'8", Gabriel. Yeah. So no. And again, the old line, they really didn't. I mean, so no. Uh, yeah, I
How
wasn't.
about you, Walt? Did you ever have any?
I mean, Ryan Pace is a guy who just can't, think past 4 inches in front of his own face and doesn't see the big picture. And he's not building for longevity. He wants to win now. And he didn't even do that good.
Right. Yeah. So
I mean, don't get me wrong. The Mac trade was okay. I mean, the player himself was great.
Yeah.
But the assets he gave him to get him, and then on top of it, signing him to that huge contract,
exactly.
he's just cutting himself off at the knees.
Exactly. And to that point, up until then, Trubisky had not shown us anything. He played 12 games the year before, and Fox didn't do anything to develop him. So it's not like you're like, oh, yeah, he's ready to bust out next year. No. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know exactly what his plans was.
The thing is, Trubisky could have been serviceable, but Nagy kind of just didn't know how to handle him. And I mean, nobody knew how to handle him, really. It was just the blind leading the blind there for the most part.
Honestly, though, and I mean, because I'm not going to say I'm a fan of Trubisky. I thought he was okay. But I think had he had Getsy as his offensive coordinator, he would have done a lot better than what he done with Nagy.
Oh, probably. I think anyone's better than Nagy, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I just think he needed that type of offense, that run-heavy offense, to where he could then do a play action off of that. And I think he would have been fine and to grow off of that. But so, yeah, to say that I was a big fan of Pace, nah, because he did hire Nagy.
Matt Kedrow says Pace had to win now. He knew he messed up with Mitch and put all that money into the Mac trade to mask the mistake.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, you can say that.
But let's look at that. I mean, that's a good point, Matt. But if you look at that whole idea there, it's like, okay, you sign Mac to mask the mess up with Mitch. However, the mess up with Mitch is thinking that he's a Patrick Mahomes that can throw the ball 40 times a game. He's not that guy. How you mask it is, we now going to run the ball 40 times a game. That's how you mask it. And that's what, according to Matt Nagy himself, I didn't come here to run an I formation or the T formation, whatever he said. It's like, okay, so he doesn't even really want to run the ball. So you can't mask Mitch by having this defense, but still throwing the ball 40 times a game. So it just didn't line up on what they needed to do to be successful.
Yeah, and at the time of the draft, Patrick Mahomes wasn't the Patrick Mahomes we have today. Let's be 100% honest with that.
Yeah.
And like we said last week, he wouldn't have done that if the Bears drafted him instead of Trubisky and brought him into that team. He wouldn't have put up the same success he did in Kansas City. That's a whole other ball of wax to get into on another day, though.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, I think I said last week, I think the key to Mahomes having success in Kansas City was a lot to do with Alex Smith. Alex Smith being the quarterback that he was, I think really helped Mahomes. Had Trubisky been behind Alex Smith, I think that would have helped him as well. Because to me, Alex Smith was a really good quarterback. I ain't saying great, but he was good for the system that they had there. His only downfall was his arm wasn't very strong.
Yeah.
Foster's on the long road to nowhere. Where the hell are you going, dude? Don't talk. Just drive safe.
He's going to Green Bay.
Yeah. I'm going up to Green Bay to buy an old car.
Well, let me address Kids here real quick. He says, now you are talking about Matt Nagy's offense, not Pace's player selection. Two different things, PJ. Well, here's the thing, though. I'm talking about Matt Nagy's offense because Pace chose him. And I'm sure in the interview, he asked him, what was what type of offense are you going to bring here, and what is your vision on this team? So that therein lies the issue right there. I think that's where he messed up at. Okay, he should have said, no, this is not the way we need to do this guy, because he's not that guy. That's the point I'm making.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have to remember too, both that goes hand in hand. Ryan Pace's picks and Nagy's offense, because they're having conversations on who are we going to bring in, who do we have, how is he going to do this, or how is he going to fit in here. So they had that conversation.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. It's like, especially doing that after that Fox era. He like, okay, I want to go get my guy. My guy is who? The guy who wants to throw the ball 40 times a game and come up with trick plays. That's your choice? No.
And Retro says Mahomes would have been ruined in Chicago. Watson too. Well, Watson would have ruined the Bears with all that sexual allegation shit with his massage parlors. That would have tarnished the team that would have been the worst stain on the team ever. And that would not have looked good for them. So it was a good thing that they didn't. But Mahomes, you're right. They might have ruined him because they just don't know how to develop a quarterback. They don't know what one is to go, we're going to use this guy we're going to make him a superstar. It's just strange.
Well,
at least until now.
I mean, again, I'm sorry for going off on this tangent, but my thought is, because I know we're supposed to be talking about defensive line, but the thing is, think about it. We brought in Glennon to groom Mitch. Glennon made it to 4 games. 4 games. So now you put this guy who's only played 13 games in college into this offense, and we got him throwing the ball a lot. Oh, no, I stand corrected. We got him throwing the ball very minimum under Fox. So Fox is not developing him at all. He's like, hey, don't turn the ball over. Throw the ball just 9 times. I mean, was that the Carolina game? Oh, we only threw it 9 times and we still won the game.
Just hand the ball off.
Yeah. So how are you developing this guy? You're not. So that's what I'm saying. He didn't have a plan. So the plan they had was a bad plan by having him being behind Glennon. Like I said before, he should have had him behind Hoyer or even McCown. One of those 2 guys would have been better than Glennon. But, okay, you messed up that year. So then the next year, you bring in this guy who's, again, the opposite of Fox and does it the total wrong way. That's what I'm saying. It's like there was no forethought. It's like, what's your plan, bro? What's your plan?
I don't think there was a plan. I think it's just we're going to throw something at the wall and see what sticks.
Right.
I really don't even think that, when you say we should be talking about the defensive line tonight, and you're talking about the Trubisky and all that shit. Everyone in chat has been talking about food. It's like they're waiting for us to start talking about food. I think it's just that time of the season where everyone's like, I've seen so much shit about this that it's just like, I like when you guys talk food. We'll get to food, guys. We're trying to do a Bears podcast here. We'll get to the food.
And Retro is right. Fox was blindsided by the pick. I mean, he didn't even know. I mean, I think he said he thought they was getting the safety that the Jets picked up. I think that's who he was hoping for or thinking they was getting. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, again, you the GM. How you not let your head coach know, hey, we're going to get this guy. I don't care if he does talk. I mean, the rumor was he was afraid that Fox was going to leak it out. I'm like, okay, here's the deal. John, you leak this out, you're out of a job. We don't need you doing this, because again, to not tell your head coach is beyond crazy to me. I'm drafting this franchise quarterback, supposedly, and I can't tell my head coach because I'm worried about him leaking it out. It doesn't make sense. So I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't a fan of Pace. I'm like, okay, all right.
Is it like he knew he was going to fire Fox at the end of that season, so he didn't want to tell him? Because, I mean, why wouldn't he tell his coach that? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, they said because he was afraid that Fox was going to leak it to the press or something, that we're looking at a quarterback. I'm like,
what does that matter?
You got the number 3 pick. So okay, so somebody else takes Trubisky. Pick one of the other ones.
Because he thought he was the smartest guy in the room. He's like, listen, guys, nobody knows about Trubisky.
Right.
Trubisky is the next Joe Montana.
Hey, and not only that,
This gets leaked.
he drives a Camry.
He made the reservations under Jim McMahon. You had me at McMahon.
Yeah. So yeah, it didn't make no sense to me at all, man. I'm just okay.
He's gone. We don't have to worry about him anymore. So
It doesn't look like we're going to have Foster tonight. He's like driving on a fucking endless road somewhere in the middle of who knows where.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, he's up in Packerland.
He did say he was in Packerland, so
Yeah. STC says, I hope Travis Bell is a beast and makes another good addition. Thank you for bringing that up, STC, because he could easily be an unsung hero of this season. If everything goes right, this team could be 11-6, as we predicted. They could make it to the playoffs. Anything could happen in the playoffs. They could win the Super Bowl. Go ahead. You just pat me on the back right now for saying it. And
can you please get this guy off the show? I mean, my goodness, what was he talking about drinking the Kool-Aid? What?
BJ, is he in Florida or Neverland?
That's where he's at. Neverland. My goodness.
Hey,
man,
what's the point of being a fan if you don't think you can win the Super Bowl this year? What do you guys just think? Oh, if you don't have high hopes of winning the Super Bowl every year, especially when you actually have a team that you think can compete, and from that point, no matter anything could happen. If they remain healthy, a couple things go right. Obviously, Justin Fields takes the next step. Bada boom, bada bing. Holy shit. We got an MVP of the league in Justin Fields and a Super Bowl MVP in Justin Fields. And Dominique Robinson, damn it, had 14 sacks last year because he was the guy that nobody was looking for. I mean, it could happen.
Yeah, you can win the lottery too. And more importantly, you can learn how to dance. Do I see either one of those things happening? No. Here's the thing.
Don't even tempt me. Now, here we go.
I figured you a shadow box in your spare time, man.
You gotta dance with me. Teach me the moves, PJ. Teach me the moves.
I'm saying, do you like shadow box in your spare time? I mean, because that's what you look like you was doing. Like,
oh, that would be a good one. Yeah, you know me.
I'm sorry that I gave him that idea, Walt.
Oh, let's try it out. Here, let's try it out. No, it works. That might be it. he pulls himself. No, you get your ass back here. You get your ass back here and deal with this, PJ. I'm gonna torture you some more. Here. Oh man.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean,
one of these days, Walt's just gonna like stand up and just be like.
I seen him shrugging his shoulders earlier, so man, I get it. But see, here's the thing.
We got you, Walter.
You cannot put it on air that you predicting the Bears will win the Super Bowl this year.
I wasn't predicting. I said it could happen.
Oh yeah,
that's pontificating right there at its finest.
Okay, all right. Well, so you just can't just put it out there like that.
I can pontificate it.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I think we can make the playoffs, maybe win a game or two, but Super Bowl right now, I don't think so.
Sometimes that team just comes out of nowhere.
it would take a lot of people playing beyond what they have ever played before.
Yeah.
For that to happen. And,
Exactly. It could happen.
and
Anything's
it could
possible.
happen. Sure, it could happen. But if I was a betting man, would I bet on it? No.
If it was 50-1 odds, I would.
What are the
Every
odds?
time it's 50-1 odds, I bet on the Bears to win the Super
I
Bowl.
know somebody's a bettor out there, so look at the Vegas odds and what are the Bears' odds of winning right now?
Let's see. Mrs. Shorty, you like to pontificate. My next target. He's going to send me something in an email. He's going to make a pontification video. Let's see. Bears odds to win the Super Bowl. Let's see. Current odds of the Bears to win the Super Bowl are wait, what? What does plus 6,600 mean?
It means that it's better. I mean, it's worse odds than what 50-1 is.
Oh, I would definitely bet on that. That's when I put $100 on it. I don't bet, but if they're so, for example, the 2006. No, it may have been 2005. One of those two seasons, they were 50-1 to win the Super Bowl. It was actually the 2010 season was another one. They were 50-1 to win the Super Bowl the year before that. I put $100 down on it, and they went to the freaking championship game and lost to the Packers. So another reason for me to that just broke me in half because of that. It was only $100 that I lost, but I could have won $5,000. So if they're 50-1, oh no, I'm sorry. It wasn't that. It was the Nagy era. So in Nagy's first, damn it, now I have to do that. You know what? I said it my own self. I have to have it ready.
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought. I'm not even going to.
When he took over the team, they were 50-1. I put $100 down on them. They made it to the playoffs with a 12-4 record. We all can agree if that double doink, which was actually a blocked field goal, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have won that game, they might have had the momentum to actually get to the Super Bowl with the way that defense was playing under Fangio and the gimmicky offense was working. It could have been that season. So it could happen. All I'm saying is if they are actually 66-1, if I'm reading that correctly, I would put $100 down on it again.
I'll give you this much. I think if we had won that game, we would have been in good shape because I think Eddie Jackson would have been healthy enough to play the next game because he did miss that game. So I think it would have been heavy and it probably would have made a difference. However, where we're at right now, I don't think. I mean, don't get me wrong. Every game we go into, I'm hoping the Bears win. But just outside looking in, I don't think we have the horses yet to really compete for a Super Bowl.
Fair enough. You guys got your game caps on here? You got your thinking caps on here, guys?
I'm ready.
Random trivia time. Walter Payton led the NFC in rushing yards 5 times. But how many times did he lead the NFL in rushing yards? Answer A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, or D, 4. How many times did he lead the NFL in rushing yards?
What you got, Walt?
I'm going to go with B.
Is it B as in boy?
Yep. 2.
Mm-hmm.
2.
Walt.
All right. I'm going with a retro with C, 3.
Okay. Retro's got 3. Walt has B, 2. What do you guys say in chat? What do you got? Come on, chat. What's your answer here? How many times did Walter Payton lead the NFL in rushing yards? 1, 2, 3, or 4 times? Matt Kedro says C, 3 times. Cliff Victoria says Oop, Doug Van Dorn says 3 times. Cliff Victoria says 1 time. Matt Kedrow says C 3 times.
Most people are saying 3. 3, I see.
Mm-hmm. Squeegee's saying D 4 times.
Which one did you say? What did you say, Shorty?
I haven't guessed yet.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Mayhem says 3 times. Mark Kazak says C 3 times. I'm going to guess. What's up, Plank?
Bear down, Plank.
Bear down, Plank. Thanks for joining us. You want to take your guess at this question before we give you the answer?
King Booker World says B 2 times. He's with Matt. Walt. I'm sorry.
King Buka, thanks for joining us. So let's see. We got. Let's see who's right on this. You want to guess this? Okay, so Plank says B. So how many times did he lead the NFL in rushing yards? I'm gonna say C 3. Let's find out what the answer is. I don't know what these are. I'm gonna hold it up. Let's see. A 1.
Wow.
James Ford, thanks for joining us, James. He said 3 as well. Who guessed A? Let's see.
No one did.
We were all wrong.
Yeah, it's hard to believe he only ran. Was that the 2,000-yard season? Didn't he have No, he didn't have a 2,000-yard season. He had
like an 1,800-yard season.
Yeah, he had a 275-yard game against Minnesota. I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. So he only led the league in rushing 1 time. Wow.
Cliff, wait, did Cliff say what? Cliff said A?
Let's go back.
What did Cliff say? Where's Cliff?
Yes, he did say 1. Yes, he did.
Oh, you're Cliff. Good job, dude.
Cliff is the man. We have to bring you on the club. We have to bring you on the show there, Cliff. Oh, wait. the little nay isn't ready yet.
Oh, yeah. He's got to get his swimming pool finished first. So he can be in a swimming pool with his computer.
He got to wait. He got to wait till the moon falls in his backyard or something.
Doug Van Dorn says, but the more important stat for us to remember is that in Peyton's first 10 seasons, the Bears were above 500 only twice. So a superstar does not a great team make. It's true. Barry Sanders, another good example of that.
Yeah.
It looks like Foster's not joining us tonight. He's like driving to frickin' San Francisco or something. I'm going to San Francisco. Retro says Cliff is the guy from SNL. Yeah, that's the ticket. Oh, man. So,
Age of Aquarius.
The age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
So I wanted to...
Didn't know I knew that, did you?
That song?
Ooh.
I assumed you knew it. It's what I wanted to ask you that question. Like, what's your favorite? What do you listen to? Like, you like Motown? You strike me as a Motown guy.
Not really.
No.
I listen to R&B, a little bit of rap, gospel, jazz. That's about my genre. A little bit of pop, a little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll.
Country.
I lied.
Rap.
I lied.
What? So what kind of rap? Like, wait, can I guess? Eazy-E?
I like big butts and like.
How about woke up quick at about noon? Just thought that I had to be in Compton soon. I gotta get drunk before the day begins, before my mother starts bitching about my friends.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Quick story. When I was in Korea, 1988, I heard for the first time this rapper called Dana Dane. For those of you who know Dana Dane, he's out of, I think, New York. I heard him with Cinderfella. I thought that was so interesting because, mind you, when we was in Korea, it was like really different. back then. It was like really different. So
Mhm.
to hear American music, so I started liking a rapper called Dana Dane. The song was Cinderella, 1988.
That would definitely do it to you. Not having been around American music for so long, and then it's like, oh, this is American rap. I'll take it. How about you, Walt? What you strike me as a Slayer guy.
I really don't listen to a lot of music,
No?
and my wife thinks I'm a little crazy because I don't. If I had to pick anything, though, I actually listen to a lot of classical music. It's just something about that time period and that style and the instruments that is just kind of soothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Got a super chat from
Retro. The first $4 that BCP has ever made has come from you, Retro. Thank you so much. You are the man. You are the man.
To answer the question, where was I stationed in Korea? I was stationed in Daegu, which is now changed the name to Daegu, I think. Camp Henry is where I was at, which is like southern part, or like you're in the middle of South Korea. I wasn't on the, I wasn't down in like Busan or up on the DMZ. I wasn't there. I was like in the middle of the country. Camp Henry, Daegu, Korea, during the 1988 Olympics.
Wow. 88 Olympics. Wow. How old were you then?
Not as old as Foster.
Oh, man.
No one's as old as Foster.
I don't even have him here to defend himself.
Okay, then you're right. He's not here. I should just say that. My fault. Bring Foster here if I can say it.
He must, maybe he got to his destination because he took off the road trip screen that he had going on for us to show us the straight road he was driving on and somewhere in Wisconsin. He was kidding with us before the show. He said, I'm gonna be in Green Bay doing the show from my phone tonight. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. You traitor! What are you doing up in? Yeah.
Get his bond when he's ready.
Doug Plank. I'm thinking of Doug Plank, but Plank.
Hey.
$2 super chat. Thank you, man. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, Plank. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate it. Spent 7 years in the Army, so yeah, it was a good times.
7 years in the Army, so you actually went back.
I think I went back to Korea.
But I mean, when your time was up, you decided to keep going in it.
Yeah, I was young and dumb.
Did it pay off for you at all, though?
Sure.
I once saw a video of somebody made a video of this is what it's like to be in the Army, and they take a bolt that's like sticking up out of a piece of metal, like a tire bolt, like a where you that you put your tire onto. What is it called? A lug nut, right?
Right.
And they cut the lug nut off. They like drill a hole, and then they tap it, and then they put a screw in it and take the screw out, and then they weld the hole shut, and then re-drill the hole again and tap it, and they say this is what it's like being in the Army. It's like basically you're just like doing mundane bullshit for no reason. Like there was no reason for you to drill a hole and tap it, and then weld the hole shut and then re-drill it and tap it. That's just like their analogy of being in the Army.
Now, before we
Retro, Retro. Thank you so. Wow, PCP's first $8. This is amazing, guys. You guys, this is a historic night. This is seriously a historic night. Thank you, guys.
I'll say this. I want to address Retro in a second here with that camp bonuses. But in the Army, it's like it's a hurry up and wait.
Yes.
It's like, they rush you to do this, hurry up and get here, and then you'll be waiting. And because sometimes they need to create work for you to do, so they'll have you drill a hole, fill it, re-drill a hole, just so they can have you be able to have something to do. Now, Camp Boniface, much respect to Retro, because Camp Boniface was on the DMZ. They had to sleep in their clothes. They were right there on the DMZ to where the North Koreans were like right there, looking at them at all times. So at the drop of a dime, they had to be ready to fight. So much respect. I give, me and Retro go back and forth, but much respect for Camp Boniface.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard stories about Camp Boniface, and yeah, hats off to you, bro.
And thank you for your generous donation, Retro. That's awesome. Doug says, my dad joined the Army in 1943 and had orders cut to send him to OCS when he insisted he was not staying in. Told them to take their officer training and shove it up their asses.
Officer Candidate School. OCS. Yes.
Plank says, thank you for your service as well, Retro and Bear Down. So thank you everyone for their service, and thank you for your service as well, PJ.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm going to charge you a super chat after a while.
Yeah, well, once we hit the black, maybe we can at least even out here. Oh man, between you and PJ and
PJ.
Walt. I mean, look at Walt. You look at what he's charging me. You can tell by looking at him. He's like, "This $100 an hour." He's like, "This needs to be $200 an hour."
You see that shirt he's wearing, don't you?
Yeah, Cobra Kai. Yeah,
mess you up, man. Don't play with him.
Do you like the new series?
Yeah. I've watched pretty much every episode. I think they're supposed to be doing another season. I could be wrong though.
I think they are. I think it's still going.
Well, that's good. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I watch it too. It's pretty decent.
Yeah, I love it because they totally homage the '80s movies.
Yep.
I mean,
I agree.
They pay a good tribute to it. I think they did a great job with it.
Agreed.
Damn. Wait, Retro has more to say here. Retro says, thank you, PG. That means a lot. I respect you as well for everything you've done, military and law enforcement. Thank you for your donation, Retro.
Yeah. But yeah, if you guys ever get a chance, read up on Camp Boniface. I'm telling you, because I read up on it, and that was some like eye-opening stuff. I mean, think about it. Have to be ready at a moment's notice to where you have to sleep in your uniform, have everything just be ready to go, to where I think you can only take, if I remember correctly, I think they said one person can take a shower at a time, because they can't have people off. I mean, it's like you on the ready at all times. I mean, to be on that high state of alert is just incredible. For those of you ever served in any type of military, law enforcement, whatever, to be in that state of mind on steady ready, it's stressful. So that's what I'm saying. So much respect for Retro for being there, man. Much respect.
I mean, and that includes the climate that you're in too, that you have to take into account. You could be in an area where you have jungle rot. You could be in an area where it's just awful dust, desert heat and climate and dust and wind everywhere. I mean, it could be some of the worst places on earth that you're stuck in all that gear, wearing all that.
And keep in mind, they do have tunnels. I mean, we don't really talk about that, but they had tunnels leading from North Korea into South Korea, and these guys traveling in the tunnels. So again, man, I'm telling you, much respect. And thank you again for your service, Retro. That's crazy that from hearing PJ say that's much respect for sure. Yeah.
What is Foster's in chat? How can I?
Yeah, he said he's having a signal problem.
He can't get stream. How do I get? He can't get StreamYard. That's weird. Not even through the Twitter link that I sent you.
He's just trying to take the night off. That's all.
Yeah. He has like a video of somebody driving on the road that he found. He's like, I'm just showing this just to get off. Get off being on the show tonight.
Yeah. I gotta go meet my hot date in Canada. So yeah, that's where I was headed.
Oh man. This is an interesting show without Foster because his antics are like, where the hell is Foster?
Man.
Kenny says, have you ever seen the movie Outpost? It's a true story similar to what you're saying. U.S. base set at ground levels surrounded 360 degrees by Taliban territory. Highly recommended.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm just saying, it just puts you in a whole nother mindset because it's like, to make it resonate for me. Think about Jack Nicholson in, what was that? Help me out, Walt.
Which one?
A Few Good Men. Jack Nicholson. When you talk about being on that wall, how you're, stationed on that wall, and it takes a rare person to be on that wall, to be in that mindset. I mean, to where stuff can happen just like that. So to be in that mindset 24 hours a day.
Was it A Few Good Men or Officer and a Gentleman?
No, that's Richard Gere, Officer and a Gentleman.
I always confuse the two.
It was a Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, A Few Good Men, where he was talking about being, I think they was in Cuba or something. They were somewhere down there like that. And it's like, again, you have your regular people serving, then you have these particular set of people who is on that high alert at all times that takes it to a whole nother level, to where that's why I say I have a lot of respect for the guys who are really in the thick of it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That takes a lot of stress on your body, your mind, all that. So man, this incredible. Good night, good night, Plank. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you, Plank. But yeah, so yeah, it's just something incredible. I just, again, have respect for that type of thing, where people put their lives in that situation, and it's like, it's a lot. It truly is. It's a lot.
No, it definitely is. Just to go back to what we were talking about earlier, one thing I did notice, hey, Foster,
Hey.
is that the defense seems to have a much better conditioning regimen. I noticed that last year at Nagy, we'd play 2 quarters great, and then the back half of the game, we'd be just sitting in the dirt.
But let's think about that, though. Remember when Nagy was here, and I think it was a preseason, he didn't really play the starters that long. He only played them a little bit and said something about Callis. We got to get Callis, and we didn't get Callis. And it was like the first few games of the season, we were sucking. I mean, it was like, man, we wasn't playing like we were grown accustomed to. But then last year, to your point, we didn't have the talent, but we had, the effort was there. So it makes a difference, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, I was just watching every game. You sit there, it's like, okay, we got 2 quarters in the books. We're doing great. Halftime comes around, and I don't know what they do in between, but they're doing something wrong.
Right.
Foster, have you finally parked into a tree?
No, I'm actually sitting in my car in a driveway because the friends I'm at there's a bunch of furniture. I was helping them straighten some stuff out, man. So that, and I was looking at my car. I drove over by the car, and then I lost connection, dude. Then I went to 2 bars. I went to 2 bars right here because I am in the heart of Packer country, dude. And they're both not open on Thursdays, man. So going, wow, I could have went back. I could have went back because there was a bunch of other bars in the town prior that they had the Packer signs all lit up and stuff. And I'm going, but just trying to take care of some things more than that.
What kind of Wisconsin bar is not open on a Thursday?
I don't know. There's 2 of them right here, man.
What you doing trying to go to a bar?
I kid you not, because what?
What you doing trying to go to a bar?
They're open like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and like Wednesday or something.
Well, why are you trying to go to a bar?
I was gonna go talk to some Green Bay Packers fans, man.
Oh, okay.
They probably saw Foster just lock the door.
Probably both of them. Then they called the one down the street, dude. If you see this dude coming, lock the fucking door because we know. We've seen him around town before. We don't know what he's up to, but he's always walking around town smiling. Lock the door.
We're finally starting to get to Walt, guys. Look what happened there.
Yep.
Congratulations, Walt.
That was good, Walt. That was good, man. That was good.
Yeah.
You are now part of the
Hey,
BCP club.
Well, we all knew you had it in you, brother. You're in now. You're sucked in now. It's overdone. Sorry. We didn't mean to do any harm, but it's all good. And I was listening to you guys because I'm sitting there going, a lot of I didn't catch it all because it was fading in and out. Walter, when you were talking about pace and a few things were like, yeah, they never gave him a chance. I don't remember what it was. I'm sitting there shaking my head going, man, I wish I could tell him fucking right, that bastard. Because I don't know if you remember, this is probably 20 or 30 minutes ago. You guys were talking about the different regimes that we're in and executive of the year. And I forget the statements, but I was just like, I think PJ, you mentioned something about, because I was real, even though Pace won the executive of the year, I was skeptical too with him, man. I don't know. Never mind. But everything that you guys are talking about, like 90, I'm a homer because I'm going to agree with about 95% of it, man. So that was some good stuff too, man. I wish I wouldn't have been cutting in and out, but I'm here, man. I just can't even find a Green Bay Packer. I can find a bunch of Bears fans in the middle of Green Bay Packer territory right now. I'm not kid you not. There's like 5 or 6 of them down the block here, but they're all from Chicagoland. They all moved up here from Chicagoland.
I like.
And I'm like here, 50 miles south of Rhinelander, Wisconsin. If anybody knows where that is.
Yeah.
I'm up there. I'm up there a little bit.
I gotta ask. Did you see the tornadoes yesterday?
You want to hear something funny? My dumb ass, I drove right into one at 7:00. Scared the hell out of me, man. That's when I got on the road.
That's how you got to Wisconsin.
When we got, I get in the car. I just get on the highway, warning. I look over. I'm going, oh my god, that looks exactly like 3 funnel clouds coming together. I don't know if it was, but I've driven this country a lot. I've seen a lot of stuff, and I don't care if they marked it or not. But there was 3 little tornadoes that came to one somewhere up. I don't know. I want to say Glenview area, but it could be. I could be wrong. It was northeastern Illinois. I don't know if they hit anything. I know some damage was done, like in the city and stuff, but I don't know up there. But it was scary, and then it got really bright, and then it got really bad, and then things poured, and I'm doing 30 miles an hour, and normally everybody's doing 75, so it was bad when people are doing 35 on the tollway 94. So. And then I got real lucky because I just followed the light northwest as I went up 90, 34, 50, 45 or whatever it is. I don't know if you know it. Doesn't matter, but
I love
little break. But I got some Packers fans too, and I haven't, man. I'm going to see if I can record some because I'm going to try and catch some of these guys tomorrow night.
Well, look at what Doug's saying, Foster. You should go spy on the Packers fans in the bars, pretend to be a Packers fan, but say you're worried as hell about love. See what they say and how it changes as they get drunk. That would be hilarious because we could take the logo off the screen so that nobody knows. I could even change the background so you don't even see the blue and orange. Just change it to like a.
Dude, I'll go in there and tell them I'm a Bears fan, and I think love is a piece of crap. Let's see what they do.
That'd be hilarious.
I
Get everyone, get all of them on a freaking Bears podcast to talk shit about love. That'd be fucking amazing.
I'm just saying, I'm not trying to see.
Oh,
Foster
that
get
would
beat
be,
up.
wouldn't it?
Don't do that, man. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. I'm not trying to see you get beat up, bro.
I did. Hey, PJ, I did that. I did that a couple weeks ago. I don't do that every month. I only get beat up once a month, man. It's, you know.
I'm just saying, man. I mean,
But I'm bummed.
you go in there talking about.
No, I wouldn't.
Love sucks.
I wouldn't.
I'm like, man.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I'd go in there, and this is what I planned on doing. I was hoping to go to this place right here because they've been open. I know they are open sometimes, man. And then somebody told me, oh, you can't even count on the sign. If there's people, they're open. If there's not, they're closed. So, but I'd love to go in there and just say, hey, man, I'm from the Chicagoland area, and I'm a Bears fan. I want to get your take on Jordan Love. What's up with the Packers? What's up with the Bears? What do you think of, all that shit? That's what I'd want to do. I'm going to try and do that. I'm still going to try and do that. So I'll record it if I do. I don't know how good it'll be, but we'll record it. I got somebody to record for me.
James Ford says, Foster, it was nice knowing you.
Hey, that's here's another thing, man. And this is coming up. We're going to do one finally, PJ. It's at Possum's Pub in Franklin Park. There's going to be a party with Foster night on a Saturday night. If anybody wants to make it, I'll get more details definitely on the next show. And give out the people that I promised a couple recipes to also, because I keep doing shit.
That'd be
so
cool.
I want to throw that out there before I forget, because we kind of stopped talking about that, Dan, but it was still on the back burner the whole time. And now I've kind of got it set up at my discretion.
Yeah.
So I can pick my Saturday night, and we'll let anybody know if anybody's interested. We'll do it.
That'd be fun.
Now,
That'd be a lot of fun.
Or we can all drive up to Green Bay, man. I got a van, 9 people, and we'll go there. No.
Hey, Foster, I know you did some
yes, sir.
cameo. I know you did some cameos in a few movies and whatnot. I was wondering, I seen 65 million BC. Were you in that?
Foster's life story.
It's coming up. No, I was in 85 million BC, you bastard. Hey, Matt Kedro. How's the Kevlar covered gondolas going?
Yeah, Matt's saying they had tornadoes 2 blocks away from him in Canada. Wow, I'm curious to know how many tornadoes you get up there, Matt.
That's the only one they've ever had.
Yeah, right.
I know, because I was there, right, PJ?
Man,
to see your face, dude.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Yeah.
So what were you guys, getting into? Because I interrupted all this shit with my crap. I was going, man, I shouldn't even bothering these guys because we might have like a good show for once. But here I am.
Well, you missed in the beginning. I was explaining the new and exciting things going on with BCP, which is the 27th. So in 2 weeks, we're having Alex Shapiro from NBC Sports Chicago is going to be a guest on the show. And I would like everyone who has been on the show before or who would like to be on the show to email me to join that so that we can bring you guys in. We'll have you guys kind of in the background and pull you guys in to specifically ask 1 or 2 questions, depending on however many people we have that want to join the show. So, Matt, I'd like you to join. I'm sure you'll be there for that. You guys can come on, ask Alex Shapiro 1 or 2 questions, depending on how many guests we have, depending on how long Alex wants to be on. But then you guys can interact with him yourself and get a straight up face-to-face answer from him as far as what you want to know, because this is going to be the day after training camp starts, and he'll have a lot of information to give out to everybody. So,
but aren't they going to just be in shorts and t-shirts on the first day of training camp?
Well, the first day is actually not the 26th. They just show up there.
Oh, okay.
But the next day, I think it's probably not in pads as well. But it's still training camp is underway. The topic of that show will kind of be something along the lines of, who do you think will stand out from training camp, kind of a thing. It'll kind of be the basis of the show. But you guys, I would love all of you guys from chat, anyone that wants to come on the show, to be able to have your opportunity to ask Alex Shapiro your own question face to face and get a face to face answer. So, as it is at the bottom of the screen, you can email BearsCountryPodcast@gmail.com to join the show for that. So I look forward to seeing if you guys want to be a part of that. I think it'd be amazing. One of the other things too was that you missed, Foster, was PSF, Pro Sports Fans, has reached out to me to do basically a Manning cast type thing for the Bears with what's looking to be a former NFL player. And it'll
Nice.
be me and this former NFL player watching the game. It won't be live streamed, but it'll just be on the, we'll be watching it and talking about it like we are right now as if we're watching the game. But it'll be with a former player or someone to that degree, maybe even a current journalist or something. So,
or even me. Or even me.
Or even PJ. But anyone, if you download that PSF app, you go to the Bears fans section, you'll be able to be a part of that show, just like you're a part of this one, where you can actually come in and talk to whoever I'm doing that live stream with, and you can talk to us in chat. You can talk to us. We have the ability to pull you in for video stream too. So, kind of an exciting day for BCP. And I know a lot of people kind of missed that in the beginning who are here now, so I wanted to kind of bring that up. So if you have an iPhone, you can download the PSF app, Pro Sports Fans app, to your phone. If you have an Android device, they're still working on that. It's called Relevant, RELEVNT, and then eventually when they do the update, that will the branding will change over to PSF. Relevant is backed by Mike Tyson. So he's one of the investors in this company, and Pro Sports Fans isn't just Bears; it's all sports for, every Chicago team, every Philadelphia team, every New York team, and you can go in and be a part of that for whatever fan base you are of. But for this particular one, the Bears, I will be one of the hosts with a former player, so it's going to be exciting because I look forward to that. I think we'll be able to get some former players on the show just by doing that. I'm really excited about that opportunity. So we'll see what happens with that. But if you're interested in that, if you have an iPhone, PSF, Pro Sports Fans. If you have an Android, RELEVNT, Relevant app.
And that's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's great news. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, thanks. I think it's going to be big.
Everything.
Yeah.
Did you mention next week too? We're doing a little preview of the spring of training camp with Andrew Tarbell, because he's got a podcast too, so he's going to be a guest next week. It's another thing that I don't know if anybody's aware.
Yeah, Andrew Tarhill, who has his own YouTube channel, right?
Right. Yes, I forgot the name. I apologize, Andrew. Sorry.
He has his own Bears YouTube channel.
Yep.
And he'll be on the show.
Very informative.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward to that too.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we got a bunch of some really good things coming up, man. That's awesome. That's just awesome, man. And that's how it should be.
Yeah,
we're working for this. We're trying to do this the right way. You guys are just great, man. PJ, Dan, you guys are awesome, dude. Walter, I love it when you're on the show.
Thanks.
I sat here going, man, I really did. I'm like, I shouldn't even get on, man, because you and PJ were just so into the conversation, and I'm going, yep. I'm going, yep, and then I'm like, fucking pace, and then yep, fucking pace. Sorry, but that's what I was doing as I'm driving. I don't even have the radio on. I'm listening to you guys, and I'm just like, people are probably looking at me. What the hell's the matter with this guy? Whatever. Look, I just showed up here. You mentioned something about just showing up. I showed up. They locked the fucking doors. They locked me out of the house. I'm not kidding you, man. Everybody's going to sleep here. It's 10 o'clock almost. Holy shit.
I remember being up at bars in Wisconsin in the winter in snowmobile land. Like, I think it was somebody was saying that earlier in chat. You're up in snowmobile land up there. I remember
Eagle River, Rhinelander, near the UP, all that. I mean, just
Beautiful up there.
All night, man. Bar hopping on the snowmobiles.
That's why everyone in Wisconsin says they always complain that Illonesians that the Wisconsin is their summer playground.
Wow.
Wow.
I used to come up here and destroy it once a summer, but I can't say anything about that now. Alpine Valley don't like me.
Can you just imagine Foster destroying anything right now?
Nope.
Man.
Only your mind, PJ, by the words coming out of my mouth. That's about it.
Man.
Oh,
Good night,
crap.
Squeegee.
I just set him up again.
Good night, Squeegee. Man. Because, man, I can't have that visual.
Push it, shorty. Push it good.
Foster
Push it real
put some work. No, I can't imagine that.
Richard says, Foster, you were there when Pangea broke up. What was that? I don't even get that one.
It's biblical.
I'm pretty sure Foster was there when they were naming dirt.
Walter, right in. Came in right in under everybody with the best line. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was there when they were naming dirt.
Yeah. What do we call this? What do we call it? Let's call it dirt.
They were actually gonna call dirt Foster, but the name was already taken.
So yeah, we call this piece of rock limestone. Let's call this one over here brimstone. Yeah, okay. Oh, this one dirt. Yeah, this is dirt right now. Absolutely, it's dirt.
You guys are
random trivia time again.
I missed the first one.
Your toes. That's why. Okay, so let's get to the next one. Where is it at here? Okay. Sid Luckman. How many consecutive years did Sid Luckman throw for 1,000 yards as the Bears rolled through the NFL in the 1940s? A, 9 consecutive seasons. B, 8. C, 7, or D, 6? How many consecutive 1,000-yard seasons did he have in the 40s? PJ and Foster, you're both excluded from this because you already know the answer. You were there and lived it.
How do you know?
You were there and lived it. Let's just remove these two guys. So, what do you think, Walt?
I'm gonna go with 8.
8, huh?
Yeah.
8 consecutive.
That was a serious burn there. Golly, he said, "Oh,
That was nice. What are you talking about? That was nice.
I can't remember. My sometimers is kicking in.
I'm going to say it's an odd number. So it's either between A and C is what I'm guessing. I'm going to go with A.
A?
Yeah.
Okay, we got PJ with A. What did you say, Walt?
B.
B, 8. Foster?
1940, 41, 42, 43, 44. Even though 45 was a warrior, he did 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. B, 8.
8 in a row.
Yeah, unless he screwed one of those up at 45 or 46. Up 6. D6. I'm going D6.
D6. So we have a. So that's so C is the only one left for me, right?
Going down the DM.
Doug Van Dorn says B8. Cliff
That's probably
says
8.
No idea, but Luckman is still talked about. I'll guess 9. James Ford is saying 7. C. Matt Kedrow is saying D6. Anybody else want to take one more guess? One last chance? Before I
Well, you don't have enough options. You don't have enough options, Dan.
I'm just giving everyone a chance here. STC, you want to get in there on this?
What did you take, Danny?
I'm gonna guess 6. D6.
You want to get on? You want to get in on some of this action here? What you got? What you got?
Yeah.
All right.
Dan the fucking bookie.
Here's the answer. Where is it? B. 8.
So it is
Somebody
8.
guessed that one.
Okay.
That was Doug Van Dorn.
Well, those then the years I said were correct. They have to be 40 to 47 has to be. I had thought I read somewhere that he didn't play. He missed some games in 45 because he was a member of the service. Now I know he wasn't on active duty in Europe or anything in World War II, but apparently they let him play enough games to where he got the yardage to pass. Man, that guy. Let's go back and see if you can find some film of him because they were showing some clips a few months ago. Patrick Mahomes is doing the same shit today that he did in the 40s, literally running in one direction, throwing the ball sidearm through guys to complete a touchdown pass. There's at least one good, brilliant clip of him doing that. And then they literally showed Mahomes practically doing the same thing, going the other way 50, 60, 70 years later, whatever it is, man. He was just amazing. My dad and Marv Levy said that guy could, if you put him in a workout program, he could play in any era, even today. He was that good of an athlete. And George Halas said he was the best athlete that I ever had in my entire career as a coach. So what does that tell? That says a lot. You know what I mean? There he is. I want to turn this sideways and watch it right.
I gotta pull that after 7 seconds. So let's all count to 5 so I can pull up the next clip. All right. And here we
You
go.
don't have to. I was just telling people to go look at it so that they, because some people are like, Luckman, come on, that's so long ago. I'm like, it doesn't matter. An athlete's an athlete.
Exactly. Look at that. That was a nice
Jimmy
pass.
said Luckman. They had a thing on Twitter even, and Luckman was the cheapest quarterback. They said $5 you could buy whatever players. I took him first over McMahon and everybody because I'm like, you're going to give me this guy for $1? He's the worst ranked quarterback that you have on the Bears. How could that be when he's had all the records forever? They had Kramer and McMahon on there, but I'm just like, then I spent the money on Ditka and Peyton, a couple of other receivers. He's awesome, man. Look at that crap.
That'll be the day, like we talked about the other day, like when a quarterback is wearing 42 again.
Yeah,
because everyone's got the numbers.
You think it could happen, man? I mean, not just that, because there might be some little kid out there that's a Bears fan right now that sees all this stuff. That's because you could find out anything and see anything for the Bears now. When we were kids, you couldn't see this stuff. You had to know somebody, or somebody said, "Oh yeah, I got a copy of that on VHS." That's the only way I saw any of Luckman stuff, was somebody had a copy of the reel-to-reel from back in the day on VHS tape. So I mean, but now they can see all this stuff. There might be some kid going, "Man, I'm going to be the greatest quarterback ever for the Bears, and I'm going to wear 42 like that guy Luckman back in the 40s. He was just awesome." I'm making it up, but it could happen, dude.
It could be Justin Fields wears it for one game.
That. Oh man, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I would like to see that.
Imagine 10 years from now, he's like clearly the best quarterback ever, and he's like, I'm going to wear Sid Luckman for 42 for one game.
For my last game as a professional NFL quarterback. Wow.
What Retro says, BCP, how many seasons will Fields throw for 3,000 yards? Not even 4,000. So how many seasons are we talking about? If he plays for, let's say he plays for 15 seasons for the Bears.
What if he did it for the next 8 in a row and they won 2 Super Bowls?
He didn't say consecutive, so he's saying total, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Good night, STC.
Say 9.
I'm gonna go 8. I'll say 8 because you said 9, but that's.
I'm gonna say 7. Right, I'll go right in the middle between you guys. How about that?
Yeah, even though it's below me, like you should be. Joking, dude.
STC, good night.
Thanks for joining us.
Later, STC. You want to even throw in on this, Walter, or are we just goofy?
No, I was
question?
saying it's probably maybe about 11.
11.
Awesome. I like that answer.
I like it.
There's
too.
a man of confidence.
Yes.
There's a man of confidence.
Yes.
He'll have to start now. It'll have to be this season. He gets
That
his
would
first one.
do.
He's
Well,
gonna
that's,
get over 3,000
I'm
yards. this
figuring
season.
him starting this season. He's going to hit 3,000 yards this season. What do you think, Walter?
I'm shooting for 4,000.
He'll hit the 3 grand.
Oh, what?
That's what a lot of people are saying.
That's
That
what I'm
now.
talking about, Walter.
I don't know. I could see him up there. I won't say for sure because I don't know how much we're going to be able to run, man. If we run over these fuckers, and then how many times is it going to be like a perfect pass setup, and then they got us covered, and then he's going to run 50 yards? That's going to happen 10 times this year. Watch, because the offensive line is going to be way better than it was last year.
Could be. Mo Bierman, thanks for joining us.
Yes.
He better have one now, or there may not be many more. May not be too many more.
Good point. Good point. Good point. Good point.
True. True, Mo.
You have DJ Moore getting 1,000-yard seasons with Old Man River basically as his quarterback. And imagine what he can do with Justin Fields.
Right.
That's
And with
as long as Justin Fields thinks who we think he is, and what we've seen in college with his passing, because they keep bitching about his passing accuracy when you can clearly go back and look at Ohio State stuff and see that the guy can be accurate. You could look at Bears stuff over the last 2 seasons and pull out plays. Amazing. Some of the accuracy of some of his passes. So I think we're going to see more of who he really is, because he's not going to be, as we've said 1,000 times, afraid to throw at this receiver because he's not going to catch it, or somebody's going to intercept it, or the line doesn't give him time. Those shouldn't be as big of issues. Especially the receivers shouldn't be nowhere near as big of issues the first half of last year. And the line, that better be nowhere near as big issues too, because even with Schofield in there and some other points, that line played some decent, I'm not going to say games, but they had some decent series as a line. What?
There's already a handful of passes I can pull out of my hat as examples of his accuracy. The 49ers game, his first season, when he threw to the corner, he rolled to his left and threw to like the corner of the end zone, and Jesse James caught it for like a beautiful touchdown. It was perfectly thrown. Then there's the Steelers game where he was denied the comeback, where he rolls to his left and he throws a perfect pass to Mooney. Then there was last season, he rolls out to his right and he just chucks that beautiful ball down the sideline to Montgomery against the Falcons. I mean, just 3 there as examples.
Did you say the one to Mooney just before that?
Yeah, and the Steelers game.
Yeah. I'm sorry. There's another one too with Mooney, and I can't remember what it was.
I think it was another one in the Steelers game. Yeah. I mean, he's had plenty of examples of throwing the ball with accuracy, for damn sure. Enough that
I agree wholeheartedly, man.
Once the offensive line,
they're nitpicking all this stuff.
Once the offensive line settles him down a little bit, and he's not feeling like he has to run for his life on every play, the accuracy is going to start to shine.
I agree with that, man. I do. I know. We know it's there. I know it's there. I see it. You just brought up 3 or 4 good points of it. I'm not saying it's going to be every damn play, but we know it's there. We know it's there, man. The guy can do this. He can do this.
Doug Van Dorn says, "Hey, late last year in the season, Fields threw a perfect long pass to Vellis, who caught it in traffic. Absolutely dead on target. Yes, he also threw a beautiful deep ball to Vellis against the Cowboys that he dropped.
Yeah.
So the kid's gonna shine this year. Second year and same
now,
offense for the first time in 4 years.
I can see a couple other ones, right, that they should have caught and they just dropped them. I'm sure that messes with your head, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it was right in your hands and then you dropped it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember where I saw the stat from too, but I know it passes around 20 yards. He was tied for the highest accuracy among quarterbacks with Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. What was Cliff's last comment? Sorry, go ahead.
No, just said well said. Cliff's last comment?
Whatever that last comment was, I didn't get to read it all. It said Foster something. I can't see this stuff to where I'm
Foster, QB who can have confidence that he will throw it to a receiver and he will catch it, A-Rob comes to mind. Claypool, meh.
Yeah, I got you, Retro. Claypool's going to change that. He's going to change that. They've been he's going to be working here soon. It's any update on his health, man? I've kind of walked away for the last 2 days from stuff. I've been up here for 2 days already, so haven't been paying as much attention, man. Yeah.
What's that, Walt?
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I haven't either.
It couldn't have been too much, man. I'm talking. Last time I checked in was Tuesday, and they were still pending that he's maybe doing some light activity now, and that was the end of it. But he's not, they didn't even say anything about him being ready for training camp or anything either. And that was Tuesday. So
Kenny's reminding us of his throw to Demo along the sideline against the Falcons. Yeah, that's the David Montgomery one. Yeah, that one was a thing of freaking beauty.
Yeah.
He just flicked it right over. It was perfect.
And I really hope we got a couple of these backs that worked on their catching, man. It'd be great if Herbert has improved as a receiver and a blocker. Would be detrimental to this offense unless Roshan or one of these guys just takes over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's another one too that just came to mind.
Thanks, Doug.
Fields. It was the play against the Dolphins where he had the most beautiful play action fake I've ever seen in my life, and then just rolled, faked it like that, and just rolled right out to his right, and just a beautiful pass to commit for a touchdown. The kid's got it.
He froze the line. He froze the linebacker just enough to complete the play, man. Mm-hmm. He had to pause for a second, and that's what made that play, that fake. He wasn't sure if they were running or what. That was probably the best one I've seen him ever in the last 2 seasons of watching his tape. Anyways, it's probably the best fake I've seen out of that guy. It was
one of the best fakes I've ever seen in my
life. Roger-esque kind of, man, where the ball's just sitting there and you don't see it. That was a really nice fake by him, man, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that was good.
It's only going to get better with his accuracy throwing because of his ability to maneuver within the pocket. Once the game is really slowed down for him, he's able to just kind of like dance around in the pocket and then just chuck it. I foresee that happening.
Yeah.
Like Rodgers was great at that. I can foresee him, settling down where he doesn't want to run, but he's going to like find and then that's going to create all these different passing lanes because they're going to be working on that in practice, how to get open when the play breaks down, this and that, and boom, boom, boom. He'll excel from the broken plays with his ability to make plays happen within the pocket with his feet.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Shorty?
Yeah?
Mine's bigger than yours. That's all I want to do. I just wanted to let you know, Shorty. Mine's bigger than yours.
Damn, all I have is this little big guy tonight.
Crap, I should run out here in the field and grab a 55-gallon fucking drum. I could almost right here. There's a bunch of them, man. I'll get a big old piece of I'll get a piece of metal top rail from one of these fences and make a straw.
What I want to see, PJ, is that thing full of water and you going trying to drink it with that spout at the bottom of it.
I take a little bit at a time.
He's too smart to work that hard at it, man.
Hey, gotta be smarter. Work smarter, not harder.
That's right. Works absolutely, man.
Kenny says, "Wait, maybe my favorite."
What's going on, Walter? Because you say too much, man.
Yeah, Walter talks too much. We gotta fucking get him out of here.
Fuck that. Right? He needs to be talking now. And tell these guys to shut the fuck up and you talk, Walter.
Let Walt respond to this from Kenny. Wait, maybe my favorite play of last season, just getting wrapped up twice behind the line by the Lions. Field scrambles left, goes right, or that goes back to left and trucks 2 defensive backs to break for a touchdown. What do you think about that play, Walt?
He's Superman. That's pretty much what he had to be last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that encompasses the entire season right there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Doug Van Dorn says, once the Bears O-line is respected enough that the league doesn't blitz on every play, yeah, you're going to see Fields being a rollout, play action kind of guy. I totally see that. Yes, for sure.
I expect big things with DJ Moore and Darnell Mooney, and if Claypool can give us something, we're good. Because I even expect nice things out of Komet and what's his name, Tunyon. So
Robert Tunyon.
yeah, so I think Fields will be all right this year. I mean, I don't see him rushing anywhere close to what he rushed last year. I'm thinking maybe 600 yards, maybe something like that, maybe.
Go ahead, Walt.
I don't see a point in rushing him more than 600 yards, 700 yards maybe.
Yeah. Because
That would be that's a good number right there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. He's going to have. I agree with Walt. I think he's going to get over 4,000 yards this year. He's going to break that barrier, get over 4,000 yards. First Bears quarterback to do it.
Yeah, I think he can easily get 1,000 from DJ Moore. Maybe 8.5 to 9 with both either Mooney or Claypool, or both. And then you have Tyler Scott and Velus Jones Jr. You're going to chip in probably around 500.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not even including Komet and Tunyon.
Right. See. Yeah. So I see it too. I see him getting over 4,000 yards.
Mm-hmm. And Kenny's saying, I know everyone is excited about Rojo, but Herbert and Foreman are a couple of war horses. This offense is going to be nasty at all levels. I love it. I love the homerism. Awesome.
When you're speaking facts, there's facts, because again, my bold prediction. Getsy moves on and get a head coaching spot the next year because of what he does with Fields this year.
Yeah.
Whoa. Not be a bad thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Retro thinks Fields might be fake gold. A running back faking as a QB. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Retro.
I think. I mean, I would disagree with that, because I think he has shown enough of. I mean, because he knows how to read a defense. He knows how to layer a ball. So I think because of our troubles, we didn't see how great he could be as of yet. But I think with this number one receiver now, we're going to see a true quarterback in field, especially with then you got Mooney and like I said, all these other weapons as well. So as long as he hits the open guy and not try to focus or force the ball to any one particular player, I think he'd be fine. I really do.
No, we saw that in college too. He had Olave and he had Garrett Wilson.
Yeah,
and he did fine. It's it's a combination of both the wide receiver and the quarterback.
Yes.
If you have guys like Byron Pringle and Dante Pettis who can't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, I mean, how do you expect them to catch a football?
Right. Very true. Very true. So yeah, I really expect big things. And then we got that four-headed monster, possibly five-headed monster in their backfield at the running back. So yeah, I expect some. I expect a lot. I'm really. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl yet. I'm not saying that much, but I'm feeling really good about the offense. This is probably the best I felt about the offense in a long time. I can't remember feeling this good about the offense. Now, I've always been a big fan of the defense. So this is the first time I'm actually going into the season saying this offense is something that I'm really, really liking because of the speed and the weapons we have. I mean, even when we had Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, Martellus Bennett, they didn't have the speed. We actually got speed wide receivers now. So I'm really feeling good about the offense, as well as the offensive line. I mean, those guys are, man, we actually got some good guys up there blocking too. So, yeah, I feel real good about the offense. I really do.
You know who'd be really good, and he's not available yet. I don't know if he is, but he's going to be. It's Justin Ross, the UDFA out of Kansas City. He was the Clemson wide receiver.
Was that the speed?
No, he doesn't really have a lot of speed. He's a good route runner. No, he's mainly a slot.
He's out
Justin
of Kansas City, you said?
He's on Kansas City now,
Okay.
but he was out of Clemson and he got drafted the same year as Velas.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know him. I don't know him.
Yeah, look up his Clemson highlights. They're really good.
How tall is he?
He's the same height as Sam Brown, so 6'4". He's like 6'4",
really?
209. Yeah, 6'4", 209.
Wow, okay. Because I'm sorry, go ahead, Walt.
I was gonna say the problem that most people had was he had a spinal condition.
Okay, I know who you're talking about now. Okay,
Yeah.
Yes.
So he had surgery on that, and he did come back and play the latter half of his senior year of college. So it seems like that's okay. But I know he hurt his foot against UConn and played on that, which kind of exacerbated things, and then it just wasn't healed up right last year, so they had him had surgery again on it. But I know with Watson and MVS and all that on the roster, Kansas City's kind of on the bubble right now, and he's only 23. And we have nothing to lose picking him up if he becomes available.
What do you think of Velas this year? What do you think Vegas is going to give us?
I thought Velas didn't get his fair shot last year. Everyone's hyper fixating on these 3 missed punts and the one fumble he had against Philly, where 3 guys ended up crashing into him. I mean, let's be honest. He's 2 change maybe. He's not a big guy.
Right.
You have 3 monsters just coming on top of you. Anyone's going to drop that ball, so I don't fault him for that.
Right.
Especially as a rookie.
Yeah, he's like 6'1", 212 pounds. Am I right? Something like that. That's pretty nice size for a wide receiver. 6'1", 212 pounds. That's pretty nice size. I mean, he's not, Claypool 6'4" big, but 6'1", 200 plus. That's pretty good size with all that speed. Yes, I mean, so yeah, I think we will see a vast improvement from him. How many targets he get, I don't know yet, but I think he'd be a lot better than last year.
It would be interesting to see both Tyler Scott and Velus Jones on the field at the same time.
Mm-hmm. It would be preseason. We
Yeah.
will in preseason. I like what. So I shouldn't say I like. I like how we have the other fan perspective of this from Mo Bierman saying the crazy amount of optimism, in my honest opinion, for a team that is totally unproven. Show me, then I'll consider it. Granted, not having Sunday ticket anymore. Not sure how that will actually help me to see it. He's not going to watch the games, so that sucks. Because I mean, the YouTube, is pretty expensive if you're not gonna, But listen, so if you do the YouTube subscription, you pay well, it's too late now. But if you would have signed up for the YouTube TV, then you would have gotten like $100 off. The $350, it would have cost you $350. So if you sign up right now for YouTube TV, then you get the NFL pass or whatever. It's going to cost you $350. But if you would have done it by whatever June something, you would have got $100 off. It would have cost you $250. But then you're still spending $80 a month to have that subscription to YouTube for the YouTube TV, and you can't cancel that. So you have to have that the entire NFL season to be able to watch the games. But if you do what I did and then just buy the YouTube, the NFL package, it's like $400 or $350 or something like that.
Or move to Illinois and watch it for free.
But even are you sure that you're going to be able to see every game?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They won't black you out down there?
I see every game every year, every game. So I think in the 70s, if the Bears wasn't sold out or something like that, then it'll be a blackout game back then, I think. But ever since then, I have seen every game, except for when I was in Korea.
Yeah, you could also try the Fox Sports app. I had to use that when we were coming back from Branson, Missouri, and I had to watch the game driving through Springfield. So that could work too.
Yeah. That's one of the benefits of living in Illinois. I mean,
it's true. Yeah.
I mean,
it's I got to watch every Michael Jordan game. That was great. Just about any of them that I wanted to watch. I watched almost all of them.
Yeah. So, yeah, watching the Bears game is and then I think that's the thing. I don't know about Walt, but for me, because I'm not so big on the like nationally televised games. I'm not a real big fan of those. I know the people who live out of state and then they actually get to see the Bears that way. But for me, I'm more of just to be able to watch the regular games, 12 o'clock on a Sunday. Man, I'm good with that, man.
Oh no, we watch them all here. So it's the Bears, whatever time they're on, and then we pick the other two games and watch one of those.
Yeah. Doug Van Dorn says, exactly, PJ. Being able to see the Bears and not have the Vikings shoved at me is one of the big reasons I moved back to Illinois when I retired.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, I remember when I was in the Army, that's one of the biggest things I took for granted. And then, I realized how much I missed it because, you're sitting up there, you're like seeing the Bears game all the time, living in Illinois, then you move away. And then you don't get to see the Bears like that unless you happen to do like Mo Bierman talked about, having to get these Sunday tickets and all these other things. It's like, that's such a hassle. So when I got out the Army and I came back to Illinois, I'm like, man, give me my Bears football. You know what I mean? Just give me my Bears football. I'm ready. Sign me up.
Yeah, that's the one thing that sucks about moving.
Yeah.
Cliff has been talking about his food lately here, and we're ignoring him.
I never ignore Cliff's food. He is a chef in the comments. That's his nickname, Chef in the comments.
He was saying earlier, I'm searing brats and onions now. And then he was saying he was complaining about a side burner. Where was that one at? This Weber side burner just doesn't get low enough. Can't wait for my Napoleon grill to show up. What the fuck? What's a Napoleon grill? Like a tiny grill?
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at retro, man.
Retro. Thank you for another super chat, Retro. Man, you are awesome. Poll time. Retro's wife, satisfied or disappointed?
That's Retro, man.
I'm going to say satisfied, Retro.
I would say satisfied too, Earl. I mean, the fact that he can still give up money, I say she's satisfied.
Yeah. Go lay the wood. Go lay the wood. So Cliff sent. Oh, okay. Cliff sent me pictures of his food, so I have to get those pulled up. But I wanted to show you. Let's see. I wanted to show you, Cliff.
Is Walt the other chef? Are you the other chef, Walt?
My spare time.
I know because who sent you those pictures that time, Shorty? Was that Walt?
That was Walt. He was trying to show you how he eats fish.
Yeah, with the onions or something like that.
Yeah, onions and
yeah, okay.
Squash.
Yeah, okay, you are the chef. Okay, I thought we do need to have a cooking show on here. That's all.
I'm telling you, we're gonna do it now. So Cliff, this is what I used tonight. Here's my $300. I think it's like $300 portable Traeger wood pellet grill, and that's. Let me show you what I made tonight on it.
I want to see.
I made. That's not right. Hold on a second. I made chicken kebabs and corn on the cob. So let me know what you think about that, Cliff. Chicken kebabs and corn on the cob. Let's see. Ooh, damn. Cliff sent me his crab cakes last week that he made. I didn't get him on the show in time. I didn't see it until the show was over. But I have his, what's that?
They're looking pretty decent.
Yeah, it's actually not. It was really good. I made a hoisin sauce, garlic based glaze that I basted on it. It was really good. The corn on the cob was perfect. Corn on the cob is great for the summer, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
You know what I like to do is when I'm camping and the fire is smoldering in the morning from the night before, I soak corn on the cob all night long, and then I wrap it in like a lot of tinfoil, and I just bury it in the coals, and we go about our day playing games or whatever, hiking, whatever. Then go pull out the corn at the end of the day, and it is absolutely the best corn I've ever had because it doesn't leave any of the, like every kernel when you take a bite, every kernel just pops off into your mouth and almost chokes you. It's almost dangerous. It's so good because there's nothing left on the cob. It looks like feed corn after you removed all the corn from it. It's just a dead cob, like you would make a corn cob pipe out of.
Oh, wow.
That's the way to do it. So I tried to do this at like 400 degrees for about an hour and a half, and it still didn't pop off like the way I wanted it to. But damn, it was good. So that's for you, Cliff. And then Cliff sent his picture in. Let's see here.
Now I read somewhere that they say that men are better cooks on average than women for some reason.
Oh shit! Really?
I read it somewhere. I forgot where I read it. I was like, because I was like you. I was like, really?
It's probably because women don't usually touch the grill in the house. The men are the ones that grill.
Yeah.
So look at that.
I'm looking at that. What is that?
Cliff has a charred dildo.
Dang, he said a dildo. He said a dildo.
Cliff's eating burnt egg on a bun and a charred dildo with it. That's what he's having for dinner tonight. Is that what that is, Cliff?
I don't think that's a dildo, Shorty.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think that's a dildo. I may be wrong, but I don't think that's it.
Oh man, Cliff says my wife can cook, but I'm better. I would say that my wife is more of a chef. I'm more of a cook. That's what exactly is. Yeah, Mr. Mayhem says, "What is that? Like, what is that, Cliff?"
Look like a brat with some grilled onions and some type of sauce on top, with a bun that's kind of burnt. It's not a dildo, Shorty.
It's not a dildo, Cliff?
I don't know why you call that a dildo. I was like, what? It looked like some type of mustard sauce.
Yeah, that's what Mo Beerman's saying with some ground mustard sauce, stone ground mustard, kind of what it looks like. He's just having brats. That's onions and brats on a bun that he burnt a little bit. Brats and onion with brown mustard. Bun's got a little mustard.
Okay.
Thanks, Cliff.
I'm telling you, between Walt, Cliff, these guys are some chefs out here. I'm telling you.
Leo Factor, thanks for joining us. He says if you don't even try to cook, you are missing out. Cooking is a nice vibe. It's true.
I agree. I agree.
Even the meal that I made tonight, I tried to do that quickly before the show and eat. I was like a madman. I was like, you ever see the Tom and Jerry episode where there's like the black cat that comes into town and they're fighting over a ham and like the black cat is just like chowing down on the ham while he's got his foot on Jerry's head. You ever seen that one?
No.
It's like one of my favorite Tom and Jerry.
No.
So that's how I was eating my kebabs tonight. I was eating my kebab like corn. Just, I gotta go. Because it took me like an hour to prep and cook that whole damn thing, or it actually took me longer to cook it. But even prepping it takes a little bit of time. Some people it's too much work, But if you get into it and you have fun with it, it's relaxing and
yes, I think that's the key. If you really get into doing it, you can have pleasure in doing it, and therefore it seems easier and more. Your product turns out better.
Mm-hmm.
How many men have said what Cliff just wrote?
I was paying attention to the show, and the buns got away from me.
A little backwards, but it's so effective.
Doug says I fry stuff a lot. Also bake roasts and meatloaves. Oh, I love meat. Oh, Cliff, Cliff loves meatloaves too.
Any man that
not a great chef, but I can make
nice. He loves meatloaf.
Yeah.
So
I've never known
doing
anyone...
Italian beef. I'm doing Italian beef tomorrow, Dan.
You're buying it or making it?
No, I'm making it. I got like a 7-pound Vienna brisket, and I just gonna do what I've been doing forever, and that is I take like 3 cloves of garlic, cut holes in it, stuff a clove in each one, cover it completely in Italian seasoning, dump a cup of water in there, and let it go to town for about 4 hours, maybe 5. Yeah, that's it.
Real quick, guys. Anybody in the chat who wants to send us a picture of what you cooked tonight, send it to the email at the bottom of the screen there. Send it to us. Shorty will post it for you, because I had planned on fixing some Cornish hens tonight, but I got running late. Oh, I love Cornish hens. Oh man, Cornish hens are good.
I'm actually thinking about doing fish and spaghetti.
That's what I made tonight. Was I made a dozen Cornish hens in a roasting pan, covered with onions, garlics, mushroom, and just put foil on it and baked it. And there's 6 of us, and all 12 of them are gone. And that's a lot of meat. They were they were pretty good size, man. I ate the first one going, I can't eat another one. And when I came back, I kind of finished it off in between when I got thrown off. I went to the bathroom and ate the rest of that Cornish hen with some mashed potatoes and some peas in a homemade sauce. And I made just regular corn muffins. And what else? Oh, I ended up making black chocolate chip pancakes afterwards. We had those with whipped cream and ice cream. Well, I didn't eat mine yet, but it's coming. And it was just a quick way to cook though, Peach. I mean, it was actually a quick meal. I just cooked it for 7 of us. Right. 5 kids, 2 adults, man.
What you cooked tonight?
And it was easy.
Oh, tonight? Actually, we cooked the other day. We usually make a meal for the week, but it was orzo, whole grain mustard, basted chicken, and zucchini, and grape tomatoes. You do it all in a sheet tray, and then just boil the orzo on top of that.
This guy's a chef. I'm telling you, this guy's a chef right here.
I'll eat all that stuff. That's doable, man, for sure.
Cliff says he wouldn't have burned his buns, but he was distracted by BCP tonight. That's why he normally just goes with a meatloaf, because it's easy. He can't fuck it up, right?
From the little bits and pieces I've seen, Cliff's talking out his ass, and I think his wife's going to smack him tonight for some of his comments. I'm joking. I'm kidding, Cliff.
Mo Beerman, ever try beer can chicken on the grill? Oh yeah, baby. Oh,
Mo, do it with a can of Dr. Pepper instead of beer. Try it with Dr. Pepper and 7-Up. Those are 2 of my favorites, actually.
I've tried 7-Up. I know that's good. Dr. Pepper, I'm sure would be good. I use Dr. Pepper in my barbecue sauce.
I'm telling you guys, come up with some ideas, man. That's what I'm saying. You guys are some chefs for real.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, you got to eat, and if there's nobody there to take care of you, better learn how to do something with food, or it tastes pretty crappy when you keep having the same fucking shit every night. Excuse my mouth.
Or make Marie Calendar your girlfriend. I'm telling you, make Marie Calendar your girlfriend.
Yeah.
I was expecting you to be like, PJ, I took these dried cockroaches I found on the floor. You wouldn't believe how good they were if you marinate them in some piss. I mean, they're delicious. But no, you come out with the Cornish hens. Good job, Foster.
I'm telling you.
Hey, I'm not a chef, man, but like I said, I had to learn to cook, and I just, especially when I quit drinking, man, to fill in, it was like you just start making everything, because I've become a food addict on top of it. Walter, man, when I first was looking at your dishes, I'm sitting there going, dude, I'm going to look that crap up. I'm going to try and make that. And I haven't, but I still want to go back and look at it. I even marked where he's got the pictures of it and what it was, so I can go back and look at it at some point here.
He sent me the recipe. The
3-4 weeks.
That looks delicious.
What?
Walter sent me the picture, the recipe for the sticky pork. I'll share it with you guys. It's delicious. It looks delicious.
You sent him the recipe. I thought you were talking about. Oh, okay. I want that one too, dude.
I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
I wanted to add on to what Mo's asking here. I have a Stoke grill, which has like the centerpiece you can pull out. You can put in a pizza. Yeah. You can insert like a pizza stone. You can insert all these different inserts. One of them is a cast iron pan that has like the built-in chicken holder that you can put the can in, and you put that. So what I do is I take the chicken, I marinate it overnight, and I brine it overnight in, like the Knorr tomato, like the can, like the jar of like Knorr chicken base powder.
Yeah,
they have a tomato one, Knorr chicken tomato base. It's got the salt in there. I brine it overnight in that, and then sometimes I'll stuff some jalapenos in the middle of it, and just stick it on the grill. And oh man, the brine of that makes the beer can chicken just absolutely amazing. That with the Stoke grill. Wow, Retro is killing it tonight.
Ginger ale too, man. I forgot about ginger ale. If you like 7-Up, try ginger ale. It's another good one. You can probably put anything. I just know what the ones I've done. What does it say?
Retro, thank you again for your generous donation again. That's so awesome. He said, "Wipe Buster's face dried up like the Sahara."
I'm glad I don't date his wife anymore.
Good.
Yeah, where'd Dan go? I was like, where did Dan go?
That was a good one. I'm
glad he set me up, man. You got to watch out, dude. If you say I could come back with any of them, but Retro is the king, though. He is the king.
Retro just paid $2 to be insulted.
Yep. And loved it. He'd do it again. He probably will. He might even do it again before the night's over.
He's laughing
knowing that guy
right now, going, "That was worth it."
Good. Absolutely.
Oh man, Mo Bierman, we have plenty of Waffle Houses here. I tell you what, it got to the point where like I literally, because it took about 15 of these in a row before my wife finally got it, and I'd be like, we drive, and I go, that's not something you see every day. She's like, what? And as we're passing, I'm like, a Waffle House. It's like literally on every damn corner in the South. There's 16 Waffle Houses in my little town. How can there be a Waffle House on every?
Remember Daz Newsom?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. He's like, "There's no Waffle Houses. What am I supposed to eat late at night?"
You're right.
I remember going
about that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that.
Man, you could probably get waffles anywhere in this country. I bet I can't get nothing here right now, but I bet you if I went looking for waffles, I could probably find a place. Everything else is freaking closed down. It's after 10 o'clock. Wherever they close everything at 10 o'clock, man. Gas stations, everything. This place.
Yeah,
it's weird. Wisconsin.
Well, yeah, the area I'm in is just like. It's like everything's closed at 10 o'clock. I mean, you can still get gas, but it's only if you got a credit card. They literally just close them down and the pumps are all on and you could do certain stuff wherever vending machines are, but everything is like 10 o'clock and it's closed, man.
Crazy.
If it even opens. The bars. I'm like, there's 2 bars here, man.
There's nothing, Shorty?
What's that?
Nobody sent you the pictures of their meal tonight?
Let me check the email. I don't think so.
You could show them the car I'm looking at. Oh, you can't do that. I was gonna say you could have shown these guys the car I was looking at, but you can't take it off Messenger, right?
But I haven't. I was actually going to show it. Let me see. Let me pull it up.
Okay.
I actually sent it to my phone or to my computer so I could.
Somebody gonna buy it from underneath you now. Show that picture.
I've been watching it. I've been watching this thing for 6 weeks, dude. I'm on it. So it's a 1950 Hudson Commodore, man. Yeah,
it'll be up in 1 second. I'll have it in 1 second here.
You know anything about cars here, Walter?
No, that's not my thing.
Okay.
As long as it gets me to point A to point B, I don't care what it is.
You're not a Mustang
You're
lover?
right. It's absolutely right. I am the same way, man. It's a tool, and you use it for the tool that it is. I used to build cars, and I've had like 200 of them.
Let's all guess what kind of car we think Walter would drive if he was a car lover. I'm going to say.
Just guessing what he's driving now?
He's probably driving right now. He's probably driving a Hyundai.
Nope.
All right.
I say he's driving a Honda or a Toyota, something economical and efficient and doesn't break down.
I was gonna guess Honda first.
I drove a Honda for a little while. I don't drive it anymore. I drive a Subaru now.
Okay.
That was going to be my guess right there.
It's-
Subaru.
Subaru. Damn.
Freaking PJ.
I'm just saying that was going to be my
PJ.
guess.
Take that Pole's earphone out of your earbuds there.
Oh, look, you snuck in the damn Texans hat. You started off the show with no hat, and I was like, yeah. I'm like, as long as you're not wearing that freaking Texans hat.
It's the Rangers hat, man.
It's a Texans hat. It's got a T on it.
There's a lot of ex-Cubs and Sox that plays for the Rangers. That can go by in my book.
It's the Texans Ranger hat.
Where's Mammy? Where's Mammy?
Where's Mammy?
Mama.
I should get her on the show. I kind of forgot to ask her to come on tonight.
There it is. Now, Foster.
That's it.
What you gonna do?
Yeah.
What you gonna do with a car like that, though? That's all.
Well, it doesn't have any floorboards, so he uses his feet.
No, actually, the whole interior is custom. I'm just going to drive it around, man. Nothing other than that. I'm going to work on it, fix it, because here's one thing I can do. If I don't have the parts for that car, I can make it and drive it forever as long as I keep the frame solid. It sits on a steel frame, man. So I could drive it the rest of my life if I wanted to.
What year is that?
And it's just it's a 1950 Hudson Commodore. They used to be king of the NASCAR circuit way back in the 50s. Late 40s and 50s, the Hudson Hawk. Look it up.
Nice
but
car.
they were a little bit ahead of their time, man. One of the coolest things about that car is, you know how you get in a car and you kind of step up? That car, you're going to get into it and actually step down because of the way it's built. It sits on the frame and the way the transmission setup is, and it's a manual on the column. It's just something, I've built a bunch of cars, man, and I wanted one more car to mess with because I don't really have one right now. I own 5 cars right now, man. It's just something I do. I've been messing with cars since I was 15 years old, man. Oh, wow. And I can work on almost anything from like 2007 down. After that, you really just need to be a computer technician. You can fix almost anything on the newer cars because it's all computerized. Yeah. But that's all the problems that it's causing too, is all the computerization. They've over-engineered them, man. Every car out there now from like 2016 up, they're all, and I'm just laying it out there, they're having problems with them because they've built them cheaper and cheaper and put so much technology into them. People still call me because I do still do some mechanic work. I help a lot of people out instead of going to spend a ton of money. But it's like, man, this light came on. I'm like, it's a sensor because you're 2 pounds light on your tire, man. Now you've had the car 5 years and they keep going on. Just disconnect them because you're going to be messing with your tires all the time. Every time they're a half pound low. Just dumb shit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine if you got the money and all this stuff. But the average person, to spend what it costs to maintain these newer cars, especially if you live in Chicagoland and you're making under $50,000 a year, forget it. They're trying to make it so you can't even afford to get a car or drive it unless you're making it. They're setting it up where you got to be either rich or poor to have anything. I don't know how to put it. I'm saying it wrong.
I know. I'm
too far off. I wanted to stay on cars because I love cars, man.
That's why you get to a certain point and you just have to buy the extended warranty because it's going to cost you $8,000 to have a stupid electronical part fixed. And
what type of?
Tell you the truth, I won't buy any. I still won't even. I've had new cars. I worked at dealerships. I was a mechanic. I won't buy anything newer than 2007 right now. I still won't because I can fix all that crap.
Hey, Cliff, what type of F Sport Lexus do you have? What letter is it? I'm just curious. But to answer Mo Bierman, who asked, PJ, you ever see a game at the original Ranger Stadium? I have never seen a baseball game live in my life, nor will I. I am not a baseball fan at all, whatsoever. I will not, ever, never see a baseball game.
Why are you wearing a fucking Rangers hat on a Bears podcast? If you don't even care about baseball. You're not
style,
as
man.
great as me. You can't
Hey.
match and make it red, white, and blue. You're red, black, and blue.
Hey.
That's
Check it out.
PJ the JP, man.
Check it out. See this blue shirt? See this blue shirt, right?
Yeah, I see it.
See the little blue in his hat? See the blue in the hat? You don't see the blue in the hat?
I see the blue, yeah.
No. I'm just going to keep lying until you stop and figure out I'm lying.
That little bit of blue matches the blue in your shirt.
I got you, Peach. I got you. I'm messing with you, dude. Now, Walter, I want to ask Walter this. Yeah, he's going to, one more time, Peach. Bring the head in one more time closer. Because you can see the blue line. See the blue line around it.
Yeah.
There you go. Now I can see it. It's pretty. It's a little darker than your shirt, but I get you. You got the. It goes with the shirt. It matches.
No, it doesn't. It's red.
All right.
If it was blue,
oh man, I can't get
it. It would work.
Damn, I can't take Dan off. I'm on my phone.
Man.
He took that. Thanks, Dan. So Walter, I wanted to ask you: do you follow baseball or any sports, or did we ask you this already?
I don't really follow baseball as much as I used to, but I did at one time.
Yeah. Okay. Who was your team, man?
Oh, I was a Red Sox fan.
Boston. Heartbreak.
Yeah.
But wow.
And then they started winning championships. You're like, I wanted to root for a loser.
Well, Boston, like I got a lot of friends that are Boston Red Sox fans too, and it's we walked the parallel line for a century, you know. Like I get along really good with people from Boston, whereas from like LA or New York, I mean, I'm talking sports fans, just on sports, nowhere near as good as Boston, man.
Cliff.
So I got a buddy, man. We'd always hook up for when they first started having the interleague, man. He'd come to town specifically so we could hang out and watch the Red Sox and Cubs because he's like, those are my two favorite teams. He turned me kind of into a Red Sox fan a little bit too because of that. So
all right, fuck off. That's what were we gonna say, PJ?
Hey, Cliff, GS350 Sport. Yeah, I have a GS300 myself. That's why I was asking. And back to Mo Beerman. Yeah, I'm just not a baseball fan. I mean, I'm not nothing against baseball. I just never could get into it. Sorry, but I do like the color of the hat. That's why I bought it.
Why don't you get a Cubs hat then? It's the same. That blue would match better with that shirt.
I've never seen a red Cubs.
That's what.
The symbols.
You need the. Are you wearing red shoes? Red pants? Because where does the red come in? It doesn't go with the blue. The little accent of blue with the red.
Red and
needs to be the other way around.
No, red and blue goes together. You can't wear a red. You can't wear a red hat with a red shirt. What's wrong with you, man?
Why not?
I just want to say, fuck the J2K.
Where's
That's
J2K coming into this?
He was here last time we had this conversation, I believe.
Oh yeah, I think so.
He was. It was about style.
We got to start a GoFundMe to get PJ.
So Walter, was there any other sports that you do follow, man, besides football and the Bears?
I follow a lot of mixed martial arts too. I was real big into that. I don't watch as much anymore. It's hard to find on television now. I know a lot of it's through ESPN. I don't watch them.
Yeah, they've made it so you got to pay to watch almost all this stuff now, like that. The MMA and all that stuff. They have a few. Is there still anything on Fox even with that? Because I used to watch it on Fox.
Yeah, I mean,
but I've kind of gotten away from it too.
Watch
you're going to pay.
Asian promotion.
Yeah. But you're going to pay now. It's just like everything else, man. Football will be next, where they're going to take our Sunday games away. Watch.
Oh yeah. Well, the Cubs you can't even really watch.
But it will.
It's hard to watch the Cubs in Chicago now, isn't it? They don't broadcast every.
I'm lucky. I'm lucky if I see 3 or 4 games. They got to be on Fox 32 game of the week is like the only way that you see them, unless you want to pay Comcast $100 or the other one $100 or $78 to Fubo TV. You can't in Chicago. You have to pay somebody something. So, and that's all.
It's random trivia time again, guys. Let's go to the next trivia question, shall we? As soon as I get to it. Let's see.
Foster, can't you get some games on Peacock now too?
You got to pay it through Comcast took Peacock away, so you got to pay for that now.
Yeah, it's like $5. It's no big deal.
For right now.
And you can see the Cubs games, but I think it's like 2 or 3 a year. Is the last time I looked at it. I had 3 games picked out. There was one in May, one in July, and one in August through Peacock. I looked at their schedule. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm going to look more into it now that you're bringing it up. But I had Peacock. Read the question, Dan.
Retro says, my wife played with the kids in the kitchen. I'm going to beat my meat like Foster owes rent.
He's sick. I love that guy. Oh, God.
All right, give us a question. Give us that trivia question.
All right, the trivia question. No one wore Gale Sayers' number 40 after he retired in 1971. True or false?
I'll say false.
False.
What you got,
I'll be
Walt?
different. I'll say true.
True.
True. Right, Chad, what you got, Chad?
Cliff says, I'll say false because it sounds like a trick question.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Retro says false. Doug Van Dorn says, I think that's false. Wasn't there a guy in the 80s in the defensive backfield who wore number 40?
No.
I'm blanking on the name.
I don't think it was. I think it was somebody in the 70s. I'm thinking when he first retired, somebody got the number, but then afterwards, they ended up retiring the number.
That's the only way, PJ. That's the only way. You're right, because I believe it was retired by 77 with the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to say false as well. Anyone else want to take a shot at this in chat here?
Dan just looked at the freaking answer.
James Ford says true.
James Ford says true. Mo Bierman says false. And the answer is, I'm gonna guess false. I think that somebody else did wear it at least once. Let's see what the answer is. False.
It's false. Okay, so who wore it, man? That's what I want to know right freaking now. Did you find out? No.
Now I have to do homework.
No, I'm kidding, dude. I just said if you already knew, then I'd say you're a bastard because you knew the answer.
No, I don't know the answer to any of these. That's I make this, and then Kitty puts the questions so I know what they are, and then she puts the answers on the back, so I don't see it.
That's why I said if you would have had it ready who it was, then you would have known the answer. I was joking with. I was messing around with you, Daniel.
He called you Daniel.
Yeah, no, I'm
called
tired,
me Daniel.
I'm tired, man.
Get out of here, Foster.
Man,
jeez.
He called you Daniel.
What is this? What is he? My dad?
Uh-oh. I think we had
Daniel,
that
my brother. Daniel, my brother.
Daniel, my brother. There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Let's see. Let's see. Who wore number 40 after? The greatest. Let's see.
It's got to be like you said, Peach. It's got to be between 72 and 77 that somebody wore it. That's where I'm coming up with. Because they retired it. I swore they retired his jersey right after. Maybe I'm wrong, man.
Yeah.
I'm old and tired and messed up.
Yeah, I don't think they retired it as soon as he retired. I don't see that.
They couldn't have. If it's false, they couldn't have.
I'm trying to find it. Let's see.
Yeah,
I can't find it.
We know.
It's not coming
it's
up
all right.
quick.
We'll figure it out someday here at some point.
Anybody in chat know this? The answer to the question: who wore it after?
How do I go to chat? Nope.
When Walter gets back, we need to ask him who is that a picture of there? Look like a is that a Confederate general or something? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to
it's what it looks, no, it's I think that's I don't think I can't see the color. I can't tell if it's a gray. I'm on a phone. It's too small, man.
It's black and white. It is gray.
I guess it could be a Union. It could be a union uniform.
Yeah.
That's what I got, union. Yeah. That's what I think.
I can't believe that answer didn't.
General McCollum. No. That's all right. It's no big deal, man. I'm gonna get off because my battery's gonna die and I'm just too tired.
Yeah, we're about to wrap
So,
this up anyway.
Okay.
You want to just wrap up with us?
Sure.
Um,
If I go blank, the battery died. I got like 7%, but I got it on charger. But I don't know what the hell's going on, man. Don't matter.
Okay. Well, it's a good time to wrap it up anyway. Keep the show to a reasonable time so I can. At work, I have somebody on vacation for like the next week, so I have to be on my game tomorrow. So it'd be nice to not go to bed at 3:00 in the morning.
Oh man, ruin all the fun for me.
Doug Van Dorn says running backs started wearing numbers in the 30s right after the Sayers era. Guys with numbers in the 40s started becoming defensive backs. Yeah, it's true. Retro says, Foster, you are old and tired. Don't forget ugly too.
That's right.
That's a great way to end
Retro,
the show.
Retro.
Well, cool. I love that. Let's just leave that up while we end it. And
the picture's pretty too, man. Look at this. Oh crap!
Let's take a moment here to thank everyone in chat. I mean, Doug Kazak or Mark Kazak, Doug Van Dorn, Cliff Victoria, Mo Bierman. Oh, Retro, of course, Retro. Thank you so much for your super chats tonight with some excellent comments in your super chats.
Somebody else gave a super chat too, right?
Plank gave us a super chat. Thank you so much, Plank. Really appreciate that. Mo Bierman, Mr. Mayhem. Love you guys. Without you, this does not go around. One of my favorites, Matt Kedro, was in chat tonight. Got to have him back on the show soon. Love talking with Matt. Let's see. Who else do we have that was earlier in the show?
King Buka World.
Kenny. Yeah, King Buka World. Kenny was in with us for the night. Appreciate you joining us tonight, Kenny. Let's see. STC.
PJ.
Thank you, STC, for joining us. Yeah, PJ. Thanks for joining us in chat tonight, PJ.
Hey, you know, that PJ is a stand-up guy. That's all I can say.
Leo Factor 1.
Leo Factor. Thank you for joining us, Leo. Squeegee. Thanks for joining us.
Penny?
I didn't even see Demond in here. Demond $15.99. Thanks for joining us tonight, Demond. Appreciate you hanging out tonight.
Did you say Kenny? Because Kenny's in there.
Kenny, yep.
Bears Country Productions laughing his ass off.
Who's that?
Yeah, I don't know. Throw him out.
We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. You guys seriously are what makes this show go, honestly.
How you gonna show with Walt being off, man?
Yeah.
With the Walt came back.
Walter was awesome, man.
Yeah, well, we got to thank you, Walter, for joining us. I don't know what happened to him, but
he'd be right back.
He said he'd be right back, but next thing you know, it'll be a half an hour later. But I wanted to remind you guys, in 2 weeks, we're going to have Alex Shapiro on the show. And because this show is about you coming on to join us from chat, as many of us as we can beg to join us. That includes you, Cliff. If you want to get on the show, the goal is to have, when Alex Shapiro comes on, to have you guys just come on. We'll keep you in the background. We won't have everybody on at the same time, but I'd like to have where I can pull you guys, guests from chat, up onto the show and ask Alex a question or two, depending on how many guests we have that want to participate in this, and as well as how long Mr. Shapiro will grace us with his presence. So email us at BearsCountryPodcast. If you're listening to this in audio stream and you would like to talk to Alex Shapiro and ask him your own questions, please make sure you email us and we'll get you on the show, because I think that would be a lot of fun to have him interact with the fans. like this show is really all about. So we were just wrapping this up, Walt. Anything you want to say before we kick this show off?
You know what? Oh, we have how long till training camp?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Retro, if you don't hear from me soon, I was arrested for assaulting myself.
It's probably going to happen too.
Can you imagine hanging out with Retro in a bar? Just be like, fuck, I just can't say anything, can I?
I'd love to hang out with him, man.
What'd you say, PJ?
I think you guys would get kicked out the bar hanging out with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a riot. I'm telling you, he's a riot.
He's a riot. Yeah. But
I'll just bring him to my bar, Dan. He'll make it. They're easy.
Thank you all for your super chats, Retro. Thank you for your super chats tonight. Really, 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 really appreciate that. That's awesome of you. Thank you so much. Get your butts onto your email and email us at BearsCountryPodcast. Come on the show in 2 weeks when Alex Shapiro was on. Ask him a question or two. Let's make this show awesome with that. That'd be amazing.
Get your furniture out to office, Cliff. Come on the show, Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff.
Get the wallpaper up, Cliff. Get the front yard vacuumed.
Man,
damn meatloaf done. Come on the show.
Don't forget to cook a pizza while you're doing all that other crap too, dude.
Guys, thank you. Thank everyone in chat. PJ, Foster, Walt, thanks for all of your time, for being a part of this. Love you guys. Love you guys in chat. We will see you next Thursday with our guest. What's his name? I'm an asshole.
Tarbell.
Yes. Tarbell. Yes. Andrew Tarbell, right?
I got one more thing real quick.
That's Andrew
Tarbell.
That's
what I said.
Yeah.
I got one more thing real quick.
PJ and his one more things.
One more thing real quick, Shorty. 27 parts. This is part A. Do you have...
I just wanted to say that because I wanted the Foster to go on. See? Prove my point.
We'll see you guys next Thursday. Thanks for joining us. And 1, 2, 3, Bears.
Bears.
Should we do it? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Bears.
Bears. Bears.